Hey, everybody. Sorry for the delay. We're here again for the second year in a row, going over the 2019 ORC Town matchups. My name's Josh Rosado. I'm the tournament organizer and the war boss of the New England War Kings. I'm joined with three other fine gentlemen and experienced generals. If you guys want to just introduce yourselves real quick.
Sure, I am Corey Reynolds. I'm the organizer of the Crossroads GT.
I am Kenneth Heisler Jr., aka K2, aka Skullface, General and Supreme Commander of ORC Town.
Nice.
I'm Clinton. I don't have any of the fun titles.
But you are a New England War King.
I am a New England War King.
Yeah,
in charge of some prize acquisition.
Nice. All right, so before we get into the actual matchups, I'm just going to go over a couple details we're doing for the tournament. We have 34 players this year. It's going to be a really good time. The tournament we're running is at 2,350 points this year. We're using the Clash 19 rules. It's going to be a 5-round tournament. We do have a couple special army restrictions, so keep that in mind when we're looking over our lists. At ORC Town, you're only allowed 4 of the same unit entry. So that just means you could have 4 regiments of spitters. You could have 2 hordes. Or, well, yeah, 2 hordes and 2 regiments. Just any organization of 2 unit entries. 4 unit entries. And also for allies, it's restricted to 1 unit entry of any ally. So no 2 hordes of Elohi, only 1 horde of Elohi. We are using 70-minute clocks. We didn't, I don't want anyone to freak out and time out or anything. So just wanted to make sure we all had enough time. The first scenario is going to be invade for round 1. And we do have a 3-way club grudge going into this. So we'll be talking about that a little bit as we go over the matchups. But basically for the New England War Kings, it's going to be Brian Ring, K2, who's on the cast with us, DeGreat Khan, and Greg Anderson. For Unplugged Gamers, we got John Vanaz, Jake Sierra Pica, Chris Murphy, and Keith Conroy. And for the Shambling Horde, we have Mike Rossi, Noah Nathanson, Corey Waltzer, and Harry Garu. So we're going to be going over the matchups and reading the army list.
Spoilers, 1 second. 1 second. Isn't Jake playing John? Aren't they grudged against each other?
They are.
So John and I actually were joking about that because they were going to give us a handicap, and I said, "Well, I'm not playing, so there you go." Bounces out.
Okay.
I'm just joking. So, yeah. So let me see. I see you guys in. It goes Clinton, Corey, K2. So it'll be me and Clinton, and then Corey and K2. So I will. Without further ado, I think we can jump right into it. Any other did I miss anything, you think? I think we're good.
No, man, can't wait.
All right, here we go. So, on table 1, we have our very own War King Chris Rebello versus Nick Tuzo. They are playing at ORC Town itself. So I got Chris's list. So Chris is rocking dwarves this year, again. He's got 3 hordes of Earth Elementals, 1 regiment of Berserker Brock Riders with the Potion of the Caterpillar, 1 regiment of Brock Riders with the Whip of Celerity. He's got a Berserker Lord mounted on a Brock with the Blade of the Beast Slayer. He's got a Stone Priest with Bane Chant and Martyr's Prayer. He's got 1-2 Steel Behemoths, and he's got Golok's Thunder, which is the Steel Behemoth formation, which means, of course, he's also got Golok's Fury, the legendary Steel Behemoth. And he has a Flame Priest with Bane Chant, Drain Life, and the Amulet of the Fireheart for 2350. Does anyone remember what the formation does? I totally meant to have my book on hand, but I do not.
Well, if you keep scrolling down, because they submitted via Easy Army, it says down the bottom.
Look at that.
Formation. All units are granted +1 speed.
All right, so they're speed 6, Steel Behemoths. Nice.
Speed 5.
Yep. Oh, they start at 4. Okay.
So that's Chris's list. Not super slow.
Super slow. Very slow. And the first scenario is invade. So, all right, Clinton, you got Nick's list?
Yeah, Nick's got undead with some Twilight Kin allies. So he's got 2 hordes of skeleton warriors, 4 troops of ghouls, a horde of revenants with the giant rats and the hammer of measured force, a regiment of mummies, a regiment of soul reaver cav with the potion of the caterpillar, a vampire on undead elder dragon with lightning bolt and the staying stone, a necromancer with heal, bark skin, and shroud of the saint, the army of darkness formation for his undead, and then for Twilight Kin he has a horde of chariots and an archfiend with wings and a lightning bolt. And the formation gives all of the units, the 2 warrior hordes and the necromancer, iron resolve, and the necromancer gets inspiring and increases all of his spell values by 5 when targeting friendly non-allied skeleton warriors, archers, and spearmen.
That's pretty sweet.
So the only thing that really impacts is the
Darkness is
2 hordes of skeleton warriors. But if he had more skeletons, that necromancer gets 5 to cast on every base unit of skeletons.
Right.
But he can't use that on Barkskin because it's legendary, right?
Correct. No bonus there.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at defense 5, just plain ass skeletons, and that's pretty rough. But anyway.
And heal 11.
And heal 11.
And iron resolve.
All right. So what do you guys think?
Well, we're gonna see a lot of those dwarf lists with multiple steel behemoths. I think it's pretty gross. He's got the 3 hordes of earth elementals, which is standard for a rock list, and he's got the Blade of the Beast Slayer, which could help against the Elder Dragon. He was joking around like, which one do we take? And I always hate that guy with the Beast Slayer sword because I tend to run slashers and ancients and whatever.
He's a bastard.
But I don't know. Nick is a very good player. This is an interesting list with lots of ghouls. I didn't see what he was running at Unplugged GT.
It was very similar.
Something similar to this at Unplugged. Yep.
He had 2 hordes of chariots, but at Orc Town you can only have 1. So
yeah, so he just put in an Archfiend.
So he put an Archfiend instead. Right.
Yeah. Which is never wrong. That's
never.
Yeah.
Never.
That's the John Vanas subscription.
Absolutely.
And an Archfiend.
That's it. Now,
right.
I'm looking
and
at
it's Twilight Kin are so dumb. All right. I'm sorry. Twilight Kin are dumb.
You mean they're good? Anyway,
yeah, I was really good. Yeah.
What you mean the army that's 3 armies in one? I mean, it's Twilight Kin, so elves. It's got Abyss,
it's good,
and it's got Night Stalkers. Yeah, who wouldn't want to play 3 armies in one?
But lucky for us, Nick is running undead and not Twilight Kin. So
this is true.
Okay, so listen, I think since the scenarios invade, neither of these guys are going anywhere fast. Chris has the Brock Riders, but I can totally see them going up too fast and getting isolated too quick and just getting mobbed. And Nick's got a little bit of speed with the Soul Reavers, the Dragon, the Archfiend. I think Chris is going to be on the back foot because he is so much slower than Nick. And in Invade, when you don't have a chance to push up and gain ground, you can easily get boxed into your deployment zone. And I think Nick is going to be able to handily do that. I don't necessarily think Nick is going to be able to grind through any of that defense 6, but I do think that he'll be able to pin him back.
He doesn't have to grind through it. He just has to sit there and hold it on the other side of the main line. And those skeleton hordes and the revenants, they're all just going to be there like the whole game.
He
doesn't have enough attacks.
I don't think Chris has enough punch to get to push those skeletons back the way he kind of needs to.
I agree, and Nick's got the ghouls just to kind of chaff things up and keep him over there long enough that he doesn't even engage those hordes in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, I think the ghouls
are a tough one in Invade.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. It's tough on Invade because Nick's also got the 2 flyers that if If he gets too far up with those elemental hordes, then he's getting rear charged by elder dragons and archfiends.
Right.
And that's never a good place to be either.
I don't think the shooting from those chariots is going to be very effective at all, but
not really. It'll plunk some wounds off the Brock riders, but that's about it.
Right. And then they'll just get Martyr's Prayer back.
Right.
I mean, the Steel Behemoths with the breath might be able to put in some work on those ghouls, but that's about the only thing I can see them. I just wish Chris had a couple troops of scouts or something to reach out with like a nice 24 or 36-inch range to pop some of those ghouls early, just so he can get there eventually.
The gun on Golok's Fury, isn't that an organ gun?
It's basically an organ gun, yeah. Yep. It's a mobile organ gun, which is pretty good. I think you'll be able to take care of the ghouls good enough. My problem is with how many flyers that Nick's bringing. Well, he's really only got 2, but he's got some speed with the Soul Reavers and the chariots as well. I think he's going to be able to push Chris back where he needs to, and then just get in a grind with his defense 6 and just pin him on his deployment zone. And since it's invade, I think all that's going to play a big role.
The Soul Reavers
hammer to measured force is on the Revenants too, so all those defense 6 stuff is just going to be like, oh, I've got to fight him.
I honestly wish Chris had another Brock Lord in there, but
yeah.
The chariots I'm not as worried about for Chris because he outspeeds the chariots with the Brocks. So the Brocks can get the charge advantage, but he's just gonna bounce off the Soul Reavers. Like he can't touch the Soul Reaver cav. He's just gonna run into them, and then they're just gonna on the counterpunch just tear through his Brocks. The chariots, he could probably pop the chariots on a single. But I don't know how he's gonna break through the line just across the board, because additionally those 2 flyers, those represent 2 more points of unit strength that he can hop in the back there. And I actually have, for reference, Chris has 11 drops and 16 unit strength, and Nick has 13 drops and 21 unit strength.
So he's even outnumbering him on unit strength too.
So Chris is really got to be careful watching his unit strength. I mean, 9 points of his unit strength comes from the 3 hordes of Earth Elementals.
Chris really wants the first turn on this one. Real bad.
He wants. I think he wants the first turn. And another issue is that his Brock Riders are not very strong. They're fast.
Yeah.
But even if he gets the jump on Soul Reaver Cav, he might bounce. It's a 1-to-1.
He's definitely going to bounce off the Soul Reaver. Defense 6, 26 attacks on 4s, and then he's got Thunderous 1. So maybe, 26 attacks on 4s, 13 wounds, or 13 hits, 6.5 wounds. Need a really good roll at that point.
I'm going to call this one for Nick. I hate to do it, but Nick's going to win this.
I also am going to go for Nick here.
But if Chris gets first turn, then maybe some good things will happen for him.
What do you think, Clinton?
I'll go with Chris.
Nice.
I'll go with Chris on this. I think if Chris can use the Brocks smart and sort of set up a decent pincer, like there's other than the Soul Reaver Cav, there's nothing in that list that's really going to do a lot of work against all of Chris's defense 6. Like 3 hordes of Earth Elementals, that's what, 54 nerve or something like that.
If only we were playing blackjack.
So
you don't really have to kill anything. But all right, so you're going Chris. I'm gonna also go with Nick. I think Nick's got this one pretty handily in the bag, to be honest with you. I think Chris doesn't have the speed that he needs in that list to kind of meet Nick further along the line. Maybe in a different scenario, in a different world, maybe, but not in this scenario. I think Nick's definitely got the clear advantage here. So going Nick. So that's 3 for Nick and 1 for Chris. Prove us wrong, Chris. You can do it. War Kings.
Prove us wrong.
All right.
So,
match number 2 is a grudge match. We got Noah Nathanson versus Kyle Holman, and they are fighting at the Mungdrel Badlands, the home of the Great Khan.
Oh, I dropped out for a minute there. All right.
So
I got Kyle's list open here, so I'll just run with it. So Kyle is playing Abyssal Dwarves, which are evil, but this is, man, there's so many different ways to play this army. I'm quite jealous. All right, so a horde of black souls, so the banner of the Griffin. So it has some dwarves in it. That's cool. 2 regiments of decimators, naked. A regiment of slave orcs with the warbow of Kaba. Interesting choice. A troop of gargoyles. Let's see. Looks like 1 horde of lesser obsidian golems with blessing of the gods. A regiment of half-breeds, cavalry with the potion of the caterpillar. 1 dragon fire team war machine. 1 Katsu-chan rocket launcher war machine. 1 Angor heavy mortar. An overmaster, which has the orcish skull pole. He's on foot. Supreme Ironcaster on great winged half-breed with Surge 10 and Mind Fog. Bazuzu the Vile, as you do. Dravik Dalkin, which is I don't really know much about him. Legendary character.
Yeah, he's
got a lot of spells and abilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Infernoc, who is monster, and Heralds of the Black Flame formation, which makes the decimators not suck so bad in combat.
Right.
I think it gives them CS1
and melee 4.
Nice.
And melee 4. Right.
That's
Kyle's list.
A lot of stuff.
It is a lot. It's a lot in that list.
There's a lot in that list.
It's just a scattergun of a list. Like it's a little bit of everything.
Not much redundancy.
It's interesting. Like I said, none almost.
All right. So I've got Noah's list here. He's taking Varangur with herd allies. And so he's got the allies. He's got a horde of spirit walkers, a chimera with wings, and a shaman with mind fog. And then for his Varangur, he's got a horde of the fallen with a brew of strength, 2 troops of tundra wolves, 2 units of mounted suns, 1 with haste and 1 with the whip of celerity. He's got 2 frost giants. He's got a magus with a mount, with a spell siphon and an inspiring talisman. He's got a Magnilda of the Fallen.
Spell siphon, huh?
Yes, the spell stealing.
Interesting. Steal that mind fog from Kyle.
Mind fogs all around.
Yeah. Let's just mind fog everything. All right, gentlemen, what do you think?
Well,
I have no idea what the Abyssal Dwarf list is going to do, but I love it. I love it. This Nathan's list, Noah's list is, it's not as bad as it could be, meaning like good, maybe.
Right.
But if I know if I know Noah, right, it's like secretly the best list at the tournament. So.
Right, he's crunched all the numbers.
Well,
he knows.
Right.
Stats.
Right.
Kyle has 15 drops, 17 unit strength. Noah has 12 drops and 14 unit strength. One thing to keep in mind about the Darvok or whatever his name is, Dravik Dalkin.
Dravik.
His fireball heals Infernoc for all the damage it deals as well.
That's
and
so
he's
cool.
elite and vicious. So maybe spell siphon the fireball and giggle because you can't heal your, I don't know, gimmick.
Yeah.
Now this guy,
I'm calling the 10-10 tie here.
Right off the rip.
That's a safe bet. Pretty safe bet. Yeah, so I have played against Dravik with Doug Blake's list, and he tends to just ride behind Infernoc, right? Because he can isn't there some synergy between them? Or I guess he hides behind the
Yeah. No, his
obsidian
fireball
golems.
heals Infernoc, and he has
Yeah,
heal
every
5
point of
on
damage,
Golem too.
right? Every point of damage heals Infernoc
Yeah.
with the fireball. Yeah, I
So,
really like Kyle's list.
He's
It's
not.
really a do everything list.
Yeah.
Keith Conroy, that's not the
Yeah.
first time I heard that. Just saying. Okay, sorry. Anyway.
I'm a big fan of the Decimator formation. When that came out in 18, I commented on it that I thought it was a really strong formation, and I've been a fan of that one so far.
Now, the problem I see is that other than the Horde of Black Souls, Noah can one-shot a lot of the units in Kyle's army.
As
One
you
on
do when
one.
you're playing Berenger.
Yeah, that happens. So, plus Kyle kind of wants to hang back and then invade. It's really not great for him.
I think Noah is going to storm across the table in like a second and be on his side of his and do the same thing I was talking about the first.
So he's going to be Noah. That's what he's
Yeah,
gonna do.
right. You know
I
what
think
I'm talking about.
looking at it, I think those herd allies that he brought in are insanely good to augment the list. Because if you look at the Horde of Fallen, it's 240 versus a Horde of Spirit Walkers at 230 for the Pathfinder. Like a nice big unit strength, go occupy some wood somewhere and
In the middle of the board.
yeah, and tie something up for a while the rest of the stuff goes around. The winged Chimera, you don't have to bring the king on Chimera for 310 points. I mean, you save 100 points by just going with the beast version.
True.
Obviously not as much of the fun stuff, the elite, the breath, all the other, handy dandy fun stuff that comes with those 100 points, but it allows you to bring some more drops and better unit strength, which is what I noticed playing Varangur at Unplugged. Like, my unit strength was very critical. If you lost the wrong unit at the wrong time, you were doomed. Like, you were playing from behind for the rest of the game.
I do think Kyle has a lot of stuff in his list that are pretty good tools to deal with some of Noah's stuff.
Oh, I agree. I think he's got some really nice units that can zip around. The gargoyles, the half breeds are pretty quick. They're good at tying up, some of the flying units.
I'm looking at like the
Slave
35
orcs.
breath, and I've run Spirit Walkers before, and they don't like to see 35 breath.
I know. I've brought 35 breath
Yep.
against them.
So, and he's got Basushi
All right,
to ground some
decision
flyers.
time.
Yep, decision time for
Call
sure.
it.
I'll go first. I'm going with Noah. I think Noah's got the secret Varangur spice.
Noah's going to win. I hate to say it because Varangur are my nemesis to pretty much every orc in orcdom. But yeah, that's a nice list. Nice list, Noah. You're gonna win.
So my mind tells me Noah, but Kyle will somehow convince Noah to take a 10-10 tie here.
They go to the bar, you think? Maybe.
I think
But it's the
that's,
first
that's
round.
the call here.
Maybe that's why they grudged each other. Who knows?
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure of it. If they could have grudged each other for round 3, they would have.
So what are you saying? Draw, Corey?
I'm saying draw.
All right, Corey's saying draw. I'm going to go with Noah too. So score 1 for the Shambling Horde and the Club Grudge. Yeah. So moving right along to the next table.
Score 1 in the Club Grudge for the Shambling Horde via Unplugger.
Right. So.
He said he left the Unplugged Gamers. No.
Yeah, he did. He's the Shambler now.
Yeah,
All
he's a free agent or
He's a
Shambler.
free
Yeah.
man. He's a free man. All right, on table 3, another grudge match. We got our very own The Great Khan versus Alex Coos, and they're fighting in the Glade of the Grifficorn. So I got...
You want Alex's list. Go ahead. Take Alex's
I'll
list.
take Alex's list.
I know you want
Bad
it.
bastard. All right. So Alex, my friend Alex, all the way from Canada, he's bringing Ratkin. He's got 3 regiments of tunnel slaves and a horde of tunnel slaves. He's got 2 hordes of shock troops, 2 hordes of blight. This sounds familiar. I like this list already.
I'm agreeing with you, nodding quietly.
And he's got three troops of claw shots. He's got 2 hordes of tunnel runners, which makes it better than my list by a lot. 3
Only
hordes
you
of
had
weapon
them.
teams. Sorry, yeah, hordes of weapon teams. That would be disgusting. 3 weapon teams, all with piercing 1 upgrade. He's got 2 Night Terrors, which are the best new unit in the game, and he's got the Turbo Runner formation, which gives both those hordes of tunnel runners fury, and it gives one of the Night Terrors rally 1 for 2350. And let me just say that is one badass list. Nice work.
Good list.
Love it.
All right. So that puts me up next against his nemesis, the one, the only, the Great Khan.
The one, the only Doug Raycon.
So he's fielding goblins. And yeah, just goblins.
Shocker.
Shocker. Dun,
got-
dun, dun.
2 regiments of rabble, 2 regiments of Fleabag Riders, and a horde of Fleabag Riders with the Potion of the Caterpillar. 3 troops of Fleabag Rider Sniffs, 2 regiments of Chariots, 1 King on a Chariot with the Quicksilver Rapier, 2 Big Gits mounted, a Whiz mounted with Bane Chant, and a second Whiz mounted with Bane Chant, 3 Slashers, and the Voracious Maw Pack formation. And the Voracious Maw Pack.
Vicious and no longer yellow-bellied for the Fleabag Riders.
Pretty cool. Oh man, Con.
All right. I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening,
Nice.
and I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to call it right now. The Great Khan's got this.
Nice.
He's got this.
All right. So I'm just going to lay it down for you guys. They both have 18 drops. The Khan is only repping 18 unit strength because even though he's got a lot of drops, those flea bags are nimble, which hurts. Alex, bringing rats, has a paltry 32 unit strength.
I don't see.
And he's going to need it. He's going to
4
need
points shy of doubling
So
the Khan.
what did Ron get for? Okay. Oh man, he's gonna hate me forever too, because the thing is, like, he
Yes,
just
John, 32.
does not have the punch to get through all that blight and those turbo runners and all that. He just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it.
Yes. Alex gets the stamp of approval on this list.
Oh man, it's just rough. He's
max unit strength and a shit ton of hitting.
he's got like 8 hordes. like I guess Ron's saving grace is like if there's a major, I don't know, traffic jam somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
if there's some
I'm just
impassable that blocks up those hordes from going somewhere, that's
Those
about it.
turbo runners are just going to get in. Anything, not only does Alex's stuff just have so much staying power, but it's also like everything that charges from that list is going to probably kill something Ron has here.
Even the Night Terrors will just run out and neuter shit. They really will.
I mean,
yeah, Alex is going to roll in this one, I think.
I mean, Ron is on our Crossroads team. Like, I want to vote for Ron, but
I was just corrected that the nimble doesn't affect Ron's Fleabag Riders, so his unit strength goes from 18 all the way up to 21.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, though. We are playing Invade, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, Ron is, like, a lot faster than Alex, too.
Turn 2, Ron's going to be playing on Alex's side of the board.
Right, but, like,
Turn 3, he'll be dead.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. It's like, but it won't take Alex long to chew through the Fleabag Riders and stuff. If he can get through the slashers, I think the slashers are the hardest thing for Alex to get through. And if he
Agreed.
can get through them, then pretty much the rest is like mincemeat. And Alex can afford to literally throw away like two hordes of shock troops and a horde of blight and still probably pull the W on this one.
Yeah, the blight are a big problem for
They're a huge problem.
because just everything's hitting on 6s or 7s. It's
Right.
not great.
No. All right, Ron, I love you, bud. I really wanted to vote for you. I really did. But
That's right.
I got to give it to Alex on this one. I really do. I have to. I think it's going to be just too tough for you to get through all those hordes, is what I think. Sorry, Ron. Love you, bud.
Who are you voting for?
I think Ron is going to form a burning orange hot wedge and dive through
Please make that
3
true.
layers of rats.
I hope so.
Do a
man.
hard right, flank another huge swath of rats, take another hard right, and rear charge the rest. He's got this.
That sounds very hopeful, but okay.
Sounds very strategic.
It does. It sounds strategic.
Unlike Ron.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
no,
one
he's
vote
got
for
this.
DGK, 1 vote for Alex. Who are you going, Corey?
Oh, the Rat King approves here.
Oh God, 2
This is
rat
definitely
players.
an Alex
Problem.
Yeah, shocker.
What do you think, Clinton?
I fairly certain this is pretty clear cut, and
Look, K2
Alex.
shaking his-
Alex. Yes, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
Skullface.
It hurts you
himself
guys so
does not
much to
approve.
say it.
All right, so
Well, I know if I say that he's going to lose, he's going to do his damnedest to try and prove us wrong. So
yeah, right. So Ron, prove us wrong, please. All right.
The 5s and the 6s will be rolled. And we'll make Alex's
right.
head
Yeah,
You got to
spin.
bring those orange dice, and he'll be fine.
the king of 5s, he's got to make sure he's got the oven prepped ahead of time.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to table 4, we got another grudge match. We have of the Shambling Horde, Mike Rossi versus I always struggle to pronounce his last name, so forgive me. Ray Waynant?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're playing and they are fighting at the Ebonshard Mining Conglomerate, which is the home of dwarves, which is funny because Mike Rossi is running dwarves. So
This is also the site that Skullface died
it is
for real the
Yeah,
first
this
time.
is the first time he died.
Yeah.
All right. So I
Um,
got Mike's list. Am I doing that right? Yeah. Right? I'm up. Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Corey's got Mike's list,
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
that's
Mike's
right?
right. Sorry.
Isn't this
I'm
me
on
and
Mike's
Corey.
list.
It's all
Yep.
me. It's
All right.
me all the time. Me.
It's all Josh just wants to talk
Just
and have
me
us
all
all
the time.
approve,
Please.
nod silently in the background.
Just boot you out of the chat. There you go.
All right. So Mike has gone back to Old Faithful here, back to the dwarves. So we've got a horde of bulwarkers with a hammer of measured force, 2 regiments of ironclad.
Ooh, they're all named.
Yes, they are all named. And 4
Oh, shit.
troops of sharpshooters. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. A horde of earth elementals, a regiment of Barak riders with Blessing of the Gods, 2 organ guns, 2 standard bearers, one with the Diadem of Dragonkind, and one with Kevnar's Flying
You
Hammer.
gotta have it, dude. It's the best item. in the game.
Damn Skippy. We've got the Dwarf King with the Wings of the Honey Maze, a Stone Priest with Martyr's Prayer, a Greater Earth Elemental, a Steel Behemoth, and the Wall of Iron, which gives the Ironclad and the Bulwarker and the King all iron resolve to make them even more of a bitch to move.
All right. Ray's list, which I am so pleased to see, is one of 3 orc players at this GT. And a special point of pride there, because for a long time, maybe I think Bart took orcs once to Crossroads. He took orcs last year, but usually it's just me. Usually it's just me.
You can just
Anyways,
remember the one guy who played
first
orcs
up,
that
he's
one
got
time.
a what's that?
I said you could just remember that one time the one guy played orcs.
Yeah. A horde of great axe naked. 3 troops of skulks. A horde of trolls with a staying stone. Gore chariot horde with the brew of courage. Crudger on ancient winged slasher with blizzard and blessing of the gods. God Speaker with Banechant 2, Drain Life 6, and the Inspiring Talisman. 1 Colossal Giant, 2 War Drums, and he's got a Crusher on a Gore that goes with the Skulk Stalker formation, giving all those Skulks steady aim. Big deal. And 2 hordes of Lawn Axe.
Not even salty about
for
that at all.
2,300
Big deal. Now, I didn't realize the long axe are defense 5
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
with phalanx. I mean, that ain't nothing.
I loved how K2's accent tweaked in for a second there, and he called them lawn axe. Like they sit out there on the front lawn, like they're the angry old orcs that are like, "Get off the lawn!"
Yeah, get off my lawn. I'm not gonna lie. So okay, looking at Ray's list, I really like that he fit into lawn axe hordes, and I kind of wanted to do it myself. So I'm really interested to see how this works out. I don't rate the Skulk formation for anything. I think it's garbage. But he's got 3 big hordes of orcs, which none of them have any Pathfinder or whatever. I never give mine Pathfinder either, and I always regret it. So, and I didn't this year either. So it's invade, the horde of chariots, the brew courage. I like that. It makes it a really solid unit. But Corey, you're right. Like phalanx and defense 5 make it particularly good against a lot of these, these heavy calves that are, lurking around. 2 war drums make it really strong. Crusher and the colossal giant's good. I would like, in a perfect world, he'd have 2 of those.
Right now, I got a question. Does Drain Life benefit from the God Speaker rule?
Yup.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so here's the thing with that. So he's gonna have Drain Life, probably Drain Life 9, if I had to guess. Which is really a force multiplier for any of those axe units. Like it's not bad. Let me think about this. Talk about the other list.
Okay.
I was gonna say you could tell Josh and I.
One, Mike Rossi. It's not lost on me, and I don't know if he's watching or not, but his sharpshooters. I'm not sure if they're all named after characters in Sharp's rifles. 1 definitely is, and 2 definitely is, because he has one called Sweet William, and that's a character in the British miniseries Sharp's Rifles, written by the guy that wrote that other book about Alfred the Great or whatever. And he's like this guy that collects teeth for his perfect set of false teeth one day, right? He's a Napoleonic, rifleman. And I named like 3 different D&D characters after that guy, Sweet William Grimjaw. So I really like that, but I'm voting against you because the other guy's playing orcs.
That's awesome.
I'm done.
You can really tell that Josh and I have both suffered at the hands of the God Speaker soul drain at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
I think. So here's the thing. I think those skulks are gonna die, but
Yeah.
but I think the skulks are gonna die, and Mike's shooting is gonna definitely be able to put on some pressure, and he might even be able to drop the gore chariots by the time Ray gets there. But let me tell you something. Ray's gonna get there, and that's gonna be a giant problem for Mike because he doesn't have a ton of stuff that hits back super hard. I don't think, unless I'm missing something.
I think I agree with you there, Josh, because there's a ton of crushing strike 2 in Ray's list. And yeah, it'll take him some turns, but he's
Right.
got the nerve to outlast Mike.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
and
The only things with
in life 9, like Ray's gonna win that grind, and he's gonna start chipping away and breaking down some of that defense 6. And Mike doesn't. Let's see, Mike does not have. He has Martyr's Prayer 7, so he's got 1 heal that's gonna do about 3 damage per turn.
And then Ray sits back there and hopes to blizzard him off
Yeah,
the
right.
table after a
Blizzard him
minute.
off the table, exactly.
I think those 3 skulk, that whole skulk formation will be successful in disordering 1 organ gun for 1 turn and will die. That's it. But and the chariot horde will probably die.
What was that?
That was cool.
That was really cool.
Did you pull your headphone jack out, Josh?
Me? I don't think so. I unplugged it and plugged it back in, so I guess that was me. I don't know. Who knows? Made in Mongolia.
Yeah, but all in all, and the colossal giant's going to have a field day with the infantry. He's going to have a great time, and maybe the blizzard will come in handy against that little jerk in the background that has Martyr's Prayer. Did he have Martyr's Prayer? Oh, of course he does.
He does.
He does. Yes.
So yeah, I think the orcs are going to look. It's going to be bloody, but I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
And the thing that's annoying is, those skulks should die if Mike wants to provide any effort into it. But if he doesn't, they just run around the table and are unistrict on the other side of the board, right? So he's got to do something.
And that's the thing. If Mike decides,
annoying.
Like, I don't know. If I were Mike, I'd be very conflicted. I'd be sitting behind all those guns, and I'd be like, "Do I shoot the skulks because they're going to be annoying, or do I try to kill the gore chariots?" Right?
Right.
Here's a tip, Mike. Don't kill the skulks because they will fail to wound the organ gun, and they will disappoint every time. They will muck up everything behind them. The giant axe hordes will be stuck behind stupid blithering skulks. So just ignore them.
You're saying leave them there to frustrate Ray. That's what you're saying.
So spoiler alert: K2 hates skulks.
The stat matchup is Mike has 17 drops with 18 unit strength, and Ray has 14 drops with 22 unit strength.
Damn. All right, guys. I think we can call it at this point. What do you think?
I think Ray.
Orcs.
I think Ray's got to get it.
Clinton?
I'm going with Ray.
Ray?
I love you, Mike, but your list sucks.
Whoa.
I don't think that, but
You're talking about one like Rossi, dude. Number 00, man. No, he's number 0. John's 00. All right, yeah, I'm also going to go with Ray for our first landslide of the night. Sorry, Mike, but I'm just saying those orcs it's Orc Town after all. It's Orc Town. It's Orc Nation now, buddy.
I'm just saying, Mike, waver those skulks and watch Ray just grimace because that's what they do, and they
so sad.
They ruin everything. They ruin everything.
All right, so moving on to table 5, we got another grudge match. My very own brother, Jay Rosado, versus another Canadian, Brindley Smith, at De Boneyard. So, I'll take Brindley's list. So, Brindley's running Berenger. Here we go. So, he's got, also has forces and nature allies. So, for the allies, he's got 1 regiment of forest shamblers and a Pegasus. For Berenger, he's got a horde of thralls, naked. He's got a horde of bloodsworn with the staying stone, a troop of reavers with the orcish skull pole, a horde of the fallen with the brew of strength. I've never seen that entry before in my life. Troop of thunder wolves, 2 mounted sons, surprise, gift of Korgan and potion of the caterpillar on 1, gift of Korgan and blade of slashing on the other. A horde of dire fang riders with the gift of Korgan, which gains fury, by the way, and the mace of crushing. He has 2 ice queens Both have swapped. Let me see. One has swapped Wind Blast for Heal and has Shroud of the Saint. The other has Wind Blast, Drain Life 6, and the Inspiring Talisman. He's got Magnild of the Fallen, and he has one Scald with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness for 2350. And that's Brindley.
All right. Over to Jay. He has brought Salamanders. He has a horde of Salamander Prime with the Brew of Strength, 2 regiments of Ancients, a horde of the Gekata Sky Raiders with the Jar of 4 Winds, 2 hordes of Ancients on Rhinosaurs, one with the Potion of the Caterpillar, 2 Leaky-Dons, 1 Clan Lord mounted on a Raptor with a Banner of the Griffin, a Mage Priest with Heal, Critter's Call, and Shroud of the Saint, and a second Mage Priest with Bane Chant and Martyr's Prayer. He has Agni Banu, the Greater Fire Elemental, Living Legend, and the Inspiration of the Ancients Formation.
Which makes the Ancients and Inspiring, and it gives the Clan Lord Rally 1.
So he has Rally 2 with.
So now he's Rally 2 with Banner of the Griffin.
Yep. So the fact that it gives the Ancients Inspiring is really kind of neat.
Yeah.
Because you don't see Inspiring on too many units outside of like Alohi.
Salamander
is the only one that comes forward.
They take the blood tax for Inspiring. It's like every character is like 100 and some odd points. So, well, I hate your list, Jay. I think it's utter garbage. So, just kidding. I'm just waiting for him to like blow up on the War Kings page.
He's in the YouTube chat, or he was.
The worst list I've ever seen, hands down. And it's garbage, and it's not even painted. It's garbage.
Yeah, he's still painting it right now.
All right.
It's really interesting because both lists can grind really well. They both have decent heal, drain life, or Martyr's Prayer in there. Lots of hitty power.
Oh, the Clan Lord also, in addition to getting another Rally 1, picks up Fearless.
Oh, nice.
So he goes to a -15 nerve.
Pretty good. So he's got Agni Banu, so he's got that ill 12 piercing 4 breath. Love that guy. I think Jay's list hits like a truck, honestly. I think this is going to be this is going to be
This is going to be a train wreck.
It's going to be a mess.
Yeah, what happens when 2 semis drive face first into each other?
Jay's got enough shooting to take care of the chaff.
What chaff? The wolves?
The wolves.
No,
the
he's got the
Pegasus,
shamblers and the
or shamblers.
Yeah, all that's chaff.
He's got enough shooting to take care of that. Let's see. The only problem is Brindley still pretty handily outspeeds him, is the problem. So the Rhinosaurs are really good, but they're going to be probably off to the flank. The only problem is they're only speed 7, and Brindley's got a bunch of speed 8 massive hitty cavalry.
He's got more chaff to get it there.
I don't see how Jay is going to stop that from
8.
happening. Jay's going to get charged by Mounted Sons.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much chaff in here. And that's going to be a giant problem. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Brindley's list got the advantage here a little bit. Just because they've got better chaff. And Magdilda and the Clan Lord go after each other and chase each other around the table.
Yep. I think the chaff's not going to really play a huge role, but I think that Brindley's got those speed 8 hammers that Jay just doesn't have any way of dividing those lanes up.
Well, I mean, he can hope the Sky Raiders put some wounds and maybe gets a waiver. That's what I did. I think I got a lucky waiver on a couple of times on Brindley. I don't know, but Brindley destroyed 4 out of 5 of his opponents at Unplugged GT.
So
with a list very similar to this.
Brinley's got 14 drops. Jay has 12. They both have 19 unit strength. And Jay is in the chat saying he wants to be charged by Mounted Sons. I
Okay.
don't know why or
I don't-
where, but
I don't know
He wants to be charged
why.
by one. He wants to be
Nobody
charged by
wants
one
to be
unit of
charged
Mounted
by
Sons,
Mounted Sons.
not by 2 units.
Yeah.
Well, he's got Mounted
Yeah,
Sons and he's
he's
got
a-
Fallen is the problem.
and he's got Tundra Wolves.
2 Ice Queens is a bitch too.
Yeah. I
That
don't know,
sucks.
man. You know, I think Brinley's going to have the speed he needs to keep Jay on his side of the board. And I think he's going to be pretty well invaded by turn 2, turn 3. So, I mean, I hate to vote
Brinley-
against my own brother, but I think I got to go with Brinley on this one. I don't think Jay has enough chaff to soak some of those charges that he's going to need to soak. That's my 2 cents. Put more chaff in there, Jay.
I think Brinley is a strong favorite, and I like his list. He's got a lot of reps with it too, and similar lists. But I'm not going to count Jay out for anything, especially considering he showed up and gave most of us a run for our money when he shows up every time. So I'm actually going to vote for Jay in this and just see if he can pull it through and take the charges that he wants.
Mm. It's amazing looking at the Salamander list. It's like, where do the points go? Like they just, I don't
Everything
think it doesn't go
overcosted.
very far.
No.
Yeah,
everything's
I really
doesn't
feel like
go very
Brinley's
far.
got more pieces to trade.
Yeah. So I mean, and some of the stuff, like Brinley's list, like the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Like I guess the Bloodsworn are a problem, but like the first 5 unit entries are like kind of fluff. They're kind of fluffy. I don't know. I mean, that's not exactly true. The Reavers with 20 attacks, they hit on 4s, but I mean, there's obviously like other things he could have taken, and I respect him for not doing that.
I also
but-
think the nature allies are that's for a different scenario. It is definitely not.
Yeah,
Other than
I mean,
playing the role of chaff, they're not going to do much
Yeah.
for invade.
Forest Shamblers
Yeah,
have Vanguard.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Vanguard.
Like,
yeah.
Well, they're
but
up. That means
they
they're
will
up
be.
forward
They
18
will
inches
be.
by turn 2.
right, but
Yeah,
they're going to
they
get
will be up.
chaffed.
They will be
And
up
they also
ahead.
have shambles,
They will be up
so-
front.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think Brinley is probably got this. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Brinley.
War King's taking a beating today.
Yeah.
I blame the TO. He's the one who set up the matchup.
Yeah, I know.
Except
I wanna
this is a
see you all
grudge,
lose.
so
I want to see all my boys lose. All right. So what?
Sabotage.
how he stays war boss.
What do you think, Corey?
Yeah.
Same.
I think it's going to be a slim one for Brinley.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be close, though. I think it's going to be a lot of dead stuff on the table.
Unfortunately, that's a landslide against Jay. Jay, prove us wrong. If
No.
you pull this out, dude,
I
Clinton.
voted for Jay.
You did?
Clinton
All right,
voted for
did.
Jay. Clinton
I
voted
think-
for Jay.
I think Jay
Okay.
might pull something out of his ass that
It's the Rosado way.
exactly. It's
All
the
right.
golden horseshoe that you guys have somehow, somewhere.
Okay. So, Jay, make it happen, bruh. You got it. So, moving on to table 6. This is not a grudge match. So now we're down to normal matches. We got Joe Taylor of the New England War Kings versus Chris Murphy of the Unplugged Gamers. And they are playing at
Boo.
the Yadin Desert.
All right. I'll take Murphy's list. Let me just open this up here. So Murphy is playing goblins. Oh,
It's
I
worth
like
mentioning
that.
Murphy is also the 2018 Orc Town champion. You
That's
know,
true. He has the skull face in his position,
right?
or
So
at least
congrats to you last
the
year,
effigy.
Chris Murphy.
the effigy of the skull face. Okay. So Murphy looks like one shy of as many spitters as he could have taken. He's got 2 regiments of spitters and a horde of spitters. The horde has the heart-seeking chant. He's got 1, 2, 3 hordes of trolls. 1 with the brew of courage, 1 with the chalice of wrath, and 1 with dwarven ale. He's got 2 regiments of Mobbies pack, and 2 regiments of Fleabag Rider Sniffs. They are naked, as are the Mobbies. 3 war trombones, 2 rock throwers, a flaget with Banner of the Griffin, and then another flaget. Let's see. Yep. It's 2, right? And then the other one's mounted with the crystal pendant, which is dumb. And a whiz with the Alchemist Curse Inspiring Talisman, also mounted on a Fleabag. 1 slasher and 1 goblin blaster.
That is rough.
A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
That is a rough list, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That list is here to win again, is what it is.
And so I've got Joe Taylor's list. And so he's going with elves. He's got 2 troops of archers, 1 regiment of archers with the healing brew. He's got 2 hordes of sea guard, 1 with the brew of strength, 1 with the hammer of measured force. A regiment of Stormwind cavalry with the potion of the caterpillar. 2 regiments of chariots, 1 with the pipes of terror, and 1 with fire oil. 3 bolt throwers, a standard bearer with the lute on a horse, an elvish prince on a horse with the brew of haste, making him speed 10. The green lady and the legendary Silver Breeze cavalry, the Windborn, who are awesome.
All right, first of all, Joe, where are the Drakon riders? Like, why no Drakon riders?
He didn't take them. He just took bows and bows.
Lots of bows. Lots of bows.
Yeah. You mean those
The only problem
dragons
is
that you worked so
Murphy
hard
also
on?
took bows, but took more bows.
Yeah, but Joe's bows are more accurate.
There are a lot of shots.
That's
there are
true.
a lot of shots here.
It's got 50, 60, 76. 76 shots, and then the chariots too. So he's over 100 shots. Over 100 elite shots. So that's nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at.
You know,
I would love Joe to win
this game.
Oh, me too. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great in fantasy world?
Fantasy world. Ow.
Joe does that though. He wins his first round.
The only problem I see with Joe's list is that it wants to hang back.
Yeah.
And they're playing invade.
Well, he's fast enough to get there turn 5 and 6, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's Sea Guard set up to move forward. Like he put strength and the hammer of measured force on his Sea Guard, so like he's expecting his Sea Guard to move up and get into scrapping, like not just shooting.
That's true. I'll tell you what, actually, you know, like looking at his list, looking at Joe's list, that is, he's got good amount of firepower, solid center. He's got the tools he needs. He's got the green lady.
Joe's got a really balanced list. He's really relying on his chariots.
That's what we're calling that now.
All bows.
I'm sorry. This is a John Vinace balanced list. Okay.
Yeah, right. Totally.
They all do
elven shots. Balance.
They all do different things. Okay. There's some of them that are faster than others, with like melee modifiers. You know.
You know, I actually kind of like this matchup for Joe. He's got a little bit of shooting. That's good for plinking wounds off the little bit of goblin shit and wavering it, taking it off the table. So I think he can actually get to a lot of these little goblin units.
And I mean, all it takes is like 5 or 6 damage, and any of those Mobbies packs and stuff like that, they're running. So.
Right, they got low nerve. I mean, yeah.
Joe's an experienced goblin fighter.
That's true. If anyone has more experience slapping goblins around, it's Joe Taylor.
Yeah, I kind of think Joe's got the advantage in this one a little bit. Just looking at his targets.
Now, didn't Joe beat Greg Person at Unplugged GT, or was that Chris Murphy? Didn't he just beat this list?
Did he?
Didn't he? He beat a goblin first round. Who was it? It wasn't Ron, so it was either Greg or Chris.
Huh. You guys are, at first I was thinking Chris, but like it does make sense the more I think about it, because like I'm looking at it, and Chris like has almost as many shots, but we all know that goblin shooting isn't anywhere near as good as elven shooting, so makes sense. I mean,
Chris has got 3 hordes of trolls.
yeah, but I think that Joe can grind that out with this.
Yeah, the Sea Guard.
With a Bane Chant, throw a Bane Chant in
Yeah.
there, and I think those Sea Guard can take care of those trolls no problem.
This just in, Joe Taylor beat Greg Person that took down Top Goblin at Unplugged GT. So this should be no sweat.
Right.
No sweat.
The other comparative is Chris has 20 drops, Joe has 15. Joe has 17 unit strength to Chris's 26.
Yeah.
So I think if Joe can do a good job at keeping his stuff on the table, especially like his hordes of Sea Guard, the regiment of archers, the regiment of cav, he'll be all right. But if he starts losing any of those high unit strength units, he's going to start falling behind, and that's where I think Chris can sort of jump ahead real easy, as if he can link off some of the more expensive or the higher unit strength drops is where Joe has to protect himself.
I think Joe's got to watch out for the war trombones, but he's not super concerned about the plinky shooting. He's got heal 10 or heal 8 behind everything.
He's got the green lady sitting there backing him up. So I really you're right. I think it's funny you point out the lack of the Draken Riders, but in this matchup, he doesn't need it.
Yeah,
he doesn't need the high strength, right?
All right, so let's take it down. What do you think?
I'm calling it for Joe.
Nice. See that? Number 1 in the Northeast, Joe Taylor. There you go.
Bing bang.
I'm calling it for Joe. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. He's going to win.
It's awesome.
Well,
never been more sure of anything in my life ever.
I'm not as sure about it as K2 is, but I am also going with Joe on this. The experience of the goblin fighting plus Chris's relative inexperience as a goblin fighter, I think is going to come in too.
You know what?
So
let's go, Joe. I'm going to go Joe too.
No respect for the champ.
First, Chris Murphy, Joe Taylor. Let's do this. Don't let us down.
Now we need to set it up to stream just this one matchup.
Yeah, for real. All right. Cool. So on to table 7. On table 7, we got our very own K2, aka Skullface, versus Harry Garrett?
Garrow.
Yeah, Garrow, maybe, of the Shambling Horde. And they are fighting
it's like Garrow Densetsu.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they are fighting at the War Kings National Cemetery.
So Josh,
Nice.
you want the good salamanders list this time?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Ouch.
Wow, I'm going to open the salamander list. Oh my god, what a great salamander list. I've never seen anything like this.
So much better than the last one.
Like this. So much better than the last one I read. All right. So Harry has got 1, 2, 3, 4 hordes of fire elementals. And I think that's because he got capped at 4. I think he probably would have had 1 with the Brew of Courage.
Being mauled.
What is happening?
Clinton's getting attacked by a wolf over there.
What is
That is my 7-month-old puppy coming to say hi.
Jeez, there's a mountain lion in Clinton's house.
Exactly.
All right. So 4 hordes of fire elementals, 1 with the Brew of Courage. And then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 regiments of Ember Sprites. Love that. I've been wanting to do that for a while. Horde of Gekota Sky Raiders with the Jar of the 4 Winds, like you do. 1 Leeklodon. 1 Herald with the Banner of the Griffin. He has 1 Mage Priest with Heal 3, Surge 8, Inspiring Talisman, and Martyr's Prayer. He's got 1 Clan Lord on a Fire Drake with the Heart-Seeking Chant for that piercing 1, 16 breath. And he's got Agni Banu for another 12 piercing 4 breath. So a lot of breath. He's looking at 12, 24. Holy cow. Yeah, I can't even, I lost count. But it's like 50 something breath in this list. So
Nice.
Clinton, you want to see who he's going up against?
I have the list from the one, the only,
The
the
namesake.
truly magnanimous Skullface. Skullface himself is bringing 2 hordes of axe, one with the brew of sharpness, one with the brew of strength, 2 regiments of orklings, a regiment of gore riders with a staying stone, a horde of gore chariots, a crudger on a gore with the blade of slashing, a crudger on an ancient winged slasher with critter's crawl and healing brew, a godspeaker mounted with heal and weakness, whip the half cast, whips playmates, 2 colossal giants, and a war drum for 2350. Wow.
That list is mad soft.
Why'd you bring it? You have like a million orcs.
I don't know.
What happened to the 6 hordes of axe from last year?
It's garbage.
That wasn't so good. That wasn't so good.
All right. So I think K2's got a lot of stuff that doesn't really care about all that breath too much.
Yeah, there's well, how much of the breath and ranged has any sort of defense modifiers?
Oh, dude. Well, he's got Agni Banu's got a -4.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Clan Lord
Piercing
on
1
fire
on the
rate,
Clan Lord.
He's got -1.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I
those
like-
2 will suck.
And I like that K2's got the weakness in here. You can throw that on something to make that breath weapon hurt a lot less.
Yep. I mean, you pop up with the Ancient Wind Slasher, your critters call Agni Banu, bop it boopy, you're charging him next turn.
Right. he's got the stuff to mitigate the shooting for sure.
I think so. Now, the only thing I'm seeing is like with all those Ember Sprites in the way, that's a lot of cleanup that K2 has to do, and he doesn't really have a ton of ranged output. And by not a ton, I mean Critter's Call, I think is all I'm saying, right?
No, Ron, you are dead wrong.
Oh,
I've
sorry. Is there
got-
a fireball on the God Speaker? Are we done?
No,
Damn.
whip
What? Oh, lightning
has
bolt.
elite lightning bolt
Oh, damn.
3, which is now affected by hordes, including the playmates. So it goes to lightning bolt 6.
Nice. So he becomes a beast of
Wrong.
nature. That's
And
awesome.
he gets +1 inch for each horde, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's elite. He's elite though. He's elite,
Nice.
but it'll probably be like healing some. So
Some.
So when half the army's
Yeah.
around, it becomes a beast of nature, essentially,
Yeah.
for 90 points. That's pretty good.
He's got the giants in there too.
Yeah. See, I'm seeing like the giants and like the axe hordes moving up, and they're gonna win that grind against those fire elementals. I run fire elementals, and they hit like a bag of, I don't know, flour. What, I don't know, something like a pillow, like
Yeah, hitting on 4
Bag
is
of
kinda tough
diapers.
sometimes.
yeah, like a bag of wet diapers, dude.
The only thing I can see is the fact that you can double charge the elementals into a single horde of axe without any
For that sweet,
space
for that sweet
constraints.
12 damage. For 12 damage in 36 attacks.
yeah, Clinton, you think I haven't been double charged before? Come on now.
Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not supposed to be objective. I'm supposed to just go up K2.
Well, I think that
No. Go ahead.
Just trying to provide, insightful commentary and not just all bow down to Skullface, Supreme Leader
That's
of
not what
Orc Town.
this cast is for.
that's not what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I do think
K2's
K2's got
got
the
the
edge
better
here.
speed.
I'm really excited to play this army because I love this army on the tabletop. I've always been a fan since Unplugged 2017. And I've never played Harry before, so I'm really looking forward to it. I fucking hate Sky Riders. They're here. That's cool. The Ember Sprites with the breath attack are going to incinerate my poor Orkling regiments. I'm not worried about that, but it hurts a little. But I don't see this as a clear-cut win for me. But I'm being, a worrier. But I don't know. I have concerns with my list this GT. Not gonna lie.
I think with the Gore Riders, the Chariots, your winged slasher, the ancient wing slasher.
Yeah,
The
but
mounted
that's
Cudger
it.
too. We get the mounted Cudger out there.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that he has that outspeeds your giants is the Sky Raiders, and everything else either matches with the Clan Lord, or is slower. I mean, one thing to note is the Clan Lord on Fire Drake does not fly. So that is a grounded Clan Lord as well. So you do have him beat as far as flying goes, because he's just got the Sky Raiders, and you've got the Ancient Wing Slasher, which
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
good. I
excited to
mean,
bust out Dash 22 Super Giants, but they're not going to be vicious at all this game. So
That's true.
That's all right.
I think in this matchup, in Invade, I think K2's got an edge here for sure.
Yeah, I do too. That's my pick. I'm picking Skullface.
Skullface.
Thank you. I will abstain, but we all know who I'm voting for.
Okay, so 3
Harry.
for Skullface.
I'm voting for Skullface as well.
Hey, landslide victory for ORC
I think it's
Town.
just.
However, and that's also score 1 for the War Kings, because Harry is on the Shamrock team.
On the grudge block.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, he's on the club grudge. All right, moving on.
But it's okay because Joe Taylor is going to win Chris. He's going to beat Chris Murphy. So that's good.
True. So that's technically score 2 for the War Kings. All right. Table 8. We got Bill Potter versus John McCready at the Stink Swamps of Og.
All right. So I have McCready's list this time.
Okay.
All right. So John McCready is playing elves. He's got 2 units of kindred archers, 2 hordes, one with the heart-seeking chant. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it. He's got 3 hordes.
3 hordes of
hordes of kindred archers. Snuck one in there on me. So one has piercing, one has nimble, and the other one's just plain old. He said he's got 2 regiments of Palace Guard, and then a horde of the Tall Spears with the Brew of Strength, a horde of Draken Riders, an Army Standard Bearer with the Loop, a Noble War Chariot, which are still good, a Forest Warden with Blizzard, nice, a Drakon Rider Lord, not a Dragon Rider, and he has the Diadem of Dragonkind, so he's a mini dragon, and then the Green Lady and the formation of the Honor Guard of the Green Lady.
Which gives this Tall Spears regeneration 5+, I think.
As well as the Palace Guard.
Nice.
Yep.
Good formation.
Good stuff. Blizzard on the Force Word.
All right.
Dig it.
All right. Bill Potter, aka Sweet William. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's got
nobody calls him Swamps of Og.
Excuse me. Starts off with Foot Guard. He's playing Kingdoms of Men. So we've got a troop of Foot Guard, and they've exchanged their shields for Crushing Strength. So their defense 4 now. And he's got a horde. I'm sorry, and the Orcish Skull Pole and a horde of Foot Guard with their shields with the Hammer of Measured Force. He's got a horde of Heavy Pike with the Brew of Strength. He's got 2 troops of Pole Arms block naked. He's got a regiment of Knights with the Potion of the Caterpillar. He's got 2 troops of Mounted Sergeants naked, a regiment of Mounted Sergeants with Fire Oil. He's got a general on Winged Beast with a Blade of Slashing. And an Army Standard Bearer. Sorry. There's more to this list, but I'm not seeing it. Okay. Army Standard Bearer with Loot of Insatiable Darkness. Wizard with Banechant 2. and Lightning Bolt 3, an Inspiring Talisman, and another wizard mounted on a horse with Blizzard 2 and the Heart-Seeking Chant. Nice. A Colossal Giant. And he's got the Imlar Coursers formation and a horde of Ogre Shooters.
Imlar Coursers.
+1 speed on all the mounted sergeants.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Damn, that makes him speed 10. Wowee.
Yes,
Yeah.
so they will get into range of the archers faster.
That's nice. If they survive 60 elven bow shots.
So nothing is going to get across the table from Bill's
Oh.
army.
Here's
It's all going to die. It's all going to
Bill's
die.
saving grace. Bill's saving grace is that John can only target 3 units per turn.
Yes, 3 dead units a turn.
And
I mean,
whatever.
things are going to die a turn, but Bill's got a lot of stuff here. And once he gets there, those archers can't really fight. But the tall spears can.
I was going to say, but the tall
Yep.
spears and the palace
And the
guard are going to do a
Draco.
good job of
Draco.
chewing through it.
The Palace Guard can really fight too.
Ugh.
And the Dracolin riders on the flank, and
Yeah, I can speak for experience on those Palace Guard. John McCready cleaned my clock at Unplugged.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know.
last
Yeah.
year Mike Austin put a hurting on me with the same formation.
So
Yeah, so
I think
don't
Honestly,
charge
I
them,
think-
Bill. Don't charge
I think
them.
John's got every tool he needs in his box to just rip that list to shreds.
Yeah,
Honestly,
this one
I
could
really
get
do.
over. You're right. He's got a lot of units, but he'll just take them off one at a time.
One at a time. Pick.
Nothing. Maybe the
Mm.
giant might be the only thing that's threatening in Bill's army here. Everything else is just
So
stuff to kill.
I mean, if you think about it, right? Like,
Mm.
okay, so all those mounted sergeants are if John gets turn 1, the mounted sergeants are dead turn 1. And then turn 2, he just kills the next fastest thing. Turn 3, Bill's in charge range. The Dracons are charging. The what else did he have in there? He had
The
some
pike block
Palace
dies to
guards.
shooting.
Yeah, he's got the Forest War. He's got the Dracon Rider Lord, which isn't like a huge hitty thing, but like really then the Dracon Riders hit something, take it out by themselves, anything that's vulnerable. And then when the lines meet, then John can just outgrind him too. So
Yeah.
after he's already all wounded and stuff, John's just going to sit there with his regen 5+ and his elite and
Heal.
heal and just grind out whatever's
Suck
left.
it.
Yeah, and John can send either the Dracon Rider Lord or the Noble War Chariot to just go deal with those ogre shooters stuffed in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
or
tie those up for a couple turns, which is all John's going to need to put, the main block of the rest of Bill's army down. I think
Bill,
John's list just has
I think this is just not
all the
list.
things for this scenario.
Yeah, Bill just did not want to run into this at all. Like, this is not what Bill wanted to see on the other side of the table, hands down.
Let's be honest. I don't know too many people that are going that wanted to see this against on the other side of the table.
I know one
Except for
list
maybe a couple of the dwarf lists that are like, yeah, we're all defense 6. We're just going to walk at you.
right.
We'll get there eventually. It'll hurt most of the way in, but we'll get there.
I'm looking at that list as like a favorite to win. I think that elf list.
It is
but-
a very strong list.
The Canadians are bringing heat this time.
The only problem is it is invade, but I think that he's going to be able to like kill pretty much all of Bill's army and then just push like one unit over the table and be like,
Right,
ta-da!
move that
I
noble
did
on
it.
chariot over the midline.
Right.
Yeah, the Dracon Rider Lord and the Noble War Chariot just hop over the center line, and
Yeah.
he just keeps Bill's stuff. Anything that crosses that 24-inch line is just dead, just murder.
I think that it's going to be a small win because we're playing blackjack, but I do think that he's going to crush him in attrition.
True enough.
So,
I really wish Bill had brought the Kingdoms of Men Living Legend.
yeah. Maybe later in the tournament we will see that.
El
So who we
Capitan.
All right.
right,
Yeah,
so
I'm voting for
I was gonna say
for John.
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 I'm also in on John.
All in.
Yeah, all in on John. Another landslide for John. All right. Moving on to table 9. Sorry, Bill. Prove us wrong. It's a lot of shots. All right. Table 9. We got Greg and our very own Greg Anderson versus Mike Tiskus at the Ickwood Forest.
You want?
Nice.
I'll take Mike's list. You can have Greg's.
Sure, I got Greg's list. So, War King Extraordinaire Greg Anderson. He's bringing elves. He's got 2 regiments of Stormwind Cavalry. He's got 2 hordes of Dracons, with one with the Potion of the Caterpillar. He's got 1 regiment of War Chariots. He's got an army standard bearer on a horse with the Loot of Insatiable Darkness. He's got a mage with Bane Chant on a horse with Martyr's Prayer. He's got a king on a horse with Mesa Crushing. He's got a Kindred Lord, a Dragon Kindred Lord, the normal one, not the mythic one. He's got the Green Lady. He's got the King's Champions formation, which I believe gives the king, like, he hits on a 2+, and what else does that formation give? I don't know. But then he's got some Trident Realm allies. Took one out of Bart
The
Kohler's
2
book here.
Stormwind Cav get headstrong.
Nice. So he took one out of Bart Kohler's book here. He's got a horde of Naiad Worm Riders, and he has a Naiad Envoy with Drain Life 6. Like that list a lot, Greg. It's a good list. All right. Who's he up against?
All right. Mike is bringing Night Stalkers. He has 2 regiments of Spectres. 4 legions of Bloodworms. 1 with Blessing of the Gods, 1 with Chant of Hate. 2 Mind Screeches, a Shadow Hulk, and 2 Screamers. And that is 2350.
What the heck is that?
Very compact.
It's the Bloodworm spam. You put the Bloodworms at height 0 in front, and you get the 2 Mind Screeches that have the 12 shots on 4s at piercing 3. The Screamers with Lightning Bolt 5, and the Spectres, who each regiment has 10 shots on 4s with piercing 1.
I think Greg in this one needs to play it safe. He needs to play it smart, or he can quickly get bogged down and shot to pieces.
That's the thing, and he's down like 6 on the unit strength here compared to Mike's army.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 14 to 20. So if he gets stuck fighting bloodworms on his side of the board, that's not great.
I mean, if you think about it, it's like, what does it take? It takes probably a double Dracon charge to break a Bloodworm horde, right? Or Legion.
If that.
And if you're even going
to... Maybe.
Defense 4, 24, 27, nerve. Like,
but then what's the result of that? Okay, cool, I broke 1. Now
I gotta
charge of 3 or 4 other hordes that have 40 attacks.
I think he's got to get behind the Bloodworms and start picking off some of the support pieces behind him.
I think if Greg plays this real smart and carefully, I think that he can pull this win. I think if he just like charges across the board and is like, I'm gonna go all in and try to just murder everything, I think he's gonna get bogged down and shot to bits.
I mean, the other thing is everything except for the Shadow Hulk is stealthy in this list too.
He doesn't have too much shooting though. He doesn't really care.
He doesn't have a lot of shooting. Yeah, it's really a fast combat-y elf army. So, so I played a very Bloodworm heavy list at Unplugged GT, and it just takes patience. And on the counter attack, like, they will kill you. They'll kill one of your units. So, yeah, I mean, Greg, I'm voting for you, bud. But just be careful. Very careful. Yeah.
I think I'm going to pick Greg here as well, just due to the Mike Tiskus effect, right? Mike hasn't played. I don't know. Has he played Kings of War since the second edition?
Never. No, yeah.
It's been a year or two for Mike. Mike's a great guy. I mean, it'll be a fun game.
They're definitely going to have a fun
game. I
don't
know.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, Mike is going to have 5 fun games, but
it's true.
Yeah.
The Mind Screeches are super deadly. They are super deadly.
I'm voting for Greg on this one. I think Greg's due. He's due. I think he's got I think he's got a good list, and I think the fact that it's round 1 on Saturday before the bar opens is going to help Greg as well.
Nice.
If he doesn't hit it hard on Friday.
Well,
But
Yeah.
no, I'm with you. I think Greg's got this one because one, he's got the experience over Mike, and two, I just think that if he plays it safe, I think he's going to be okay. And he's part of the nuke team in our club grudge in this tournament. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So you
confident.
better win.
Yeah, you better win, Greg, or you're never jumping on the team again. So
we'll
what is
put
that?
you out in the bogs we'll take you to the bogs as DGK references.
Exactly. So that's what, landslide for Greg.
Yeah, it looks like it's a sweep for Greg.
All right, score another one for the War Kings. Cool. All right, so now moving on to table 10. This is another grudge match. We got John Vanaz versus Jake Shirapika, which is really funny because they are on the same team grudge. So they're actually cannibalizing their own points there. And they're fighting at Scale Song, the Lizard Man World at ORC TOWN GT.
What are you talking about? That
Right.
means in the first round, their club starts with at least 21 points. Guaranteed.
Right. So who's up?
All right, I think I've got John's list here. So he's going with Empire of Dust. He's got the 2 mummy regiments, 2 enslaved guardian hordes, both with caskets of the damned, one with the brew of haste, one with the orcish skull pole, 2 hordes of guardian archers, one with fire oil, a bone giant, a bone dragon, 2 cursed high priests, both mounted, both with heal 4. He's got the Mummy's Revenge formation, which gives elite and vicious to those mummies, makes them super awesome. And then he's got Apophis, the champion of death, not flying. And that is it.
Doesn't sound so bad. No, not so bad. All right, Jake. Jake has got a horde of black souls naked, a horde of slave orcs naked, 2 troops of gargoyles. Oh boy, he's got four regiments of abyssal half breeds. Okay,
So nice.
one's got the stain stone, one's got the pipes of terror for brutal. One's got chalice of wrath, and one's got the orcish skull pole. He has a horde of abyssal grotesques with a brew of haste. Also has a slave driver. He's got Braki Barca. He's got Bazuzu, the Bardoon formation, and last but not least, abyssal allies, a regiment of tortured souls, and an abyssal temptress with wains.
That's good. It's a good list,
Beauty.
Jake.
Beauty.
Beautiful.
Yep.
So,
So the Bardoom formation gives Braki Barca
Inspiring 12.
extremely
No,
inspiring.
gives him dread.
Yeah.
Ricky Barker gets dread, and then they all get fury. Well, 2 of the half-breed regiments and Bracky Barker get fury.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough matchup for sure. I think
For John?
I think for both of them, to be honest with you. I really do.
Yeah.
And here's why. Because I think Jake is going to be able to shut down that shooting, no problem, with the 2 flying characters. I think that John's got some really nice anvils in here that if a couple charges don't go Jake's way, he can end up in a lot of trouble with like Surge Swarm piling up on his guys. And if John gets maybe 2 turns of shooting, 2 lucky turns of shooting, he can probably take off 2 of those half-breeds, no problem, before they get to him. I honestly, dude, I can see this one like draw.
Yeah, this is a very close coin flip situation. I think what it might come down to would be John's familiarity with his list. Just because over the couple games that I've played him, with him playing Dust this year, where he just picked it up, there's been a couple of units he's had that he's been a little shaky on some of the rules. So I think familiarity might be where Jake gets the edge on it. Not like it's a major edge. I'm not saying, oh, it's like a 80-20 in Jake's favor because John is not super familiar with his army. It's more like maybe 55-45 in Jake's favor, just because of familiarity. One thing to note is Jake has the speed on John. I mean, just the shambling fact, and John he's got Surge 28 total with 3 casters.
Fling that
And
shit.
that's if you're using, and that's if he uses a Paphos as a Surge caster instead of, everything else that he's really strong with.
Right. But John, I'm sure John's not super enthused to see invade be the scenario here.
Yeah, that's
Jake
the other
can just
thing.
get across the board and force this fight to happen on the other side of the table, and with all his fast stuff, and still follow it up with 2 hordes, the Black Souls and the Slave Orcs too. And I mean, Jake will be able to get a couple of combo charges, hopefully be able to pick a unit off, and then that kind of puts John behind the 8 ball once he loses a unit in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I
John
think
has
that
no.
the
John
scenario
John
isn't in
is
his favor either.
John's going to be on the back foot. I think if Jake is aggressive and does get some decent combined charges, because he's going to have less opportunity to do the smart shenanigans that he wants to do, and I think John has no chance whatsoever of winning.
Say speed.
So I'm going for Jake here.
You gotta share that voice changer app with us here. K2.
Is that me?
I don't know. I think it's K2.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I unplugged and replugged in too, and it was still going. So
Did you hear that, K2?
No.
Oh
No,
my
it's
god,
not
it
perfect
just
to
went
me.
bonkers. Like aliens are trying to hijack our whole thing here.
You'll have to watch the cast on YouTube. K2.
That was so bad.
just fast forward to the
Sweet.
part where I ripped my headphones off my head as
Oh,
fast
God,
as
why?
possible.
So sorry about that, everyone. Anyway, continue. What were you saying, K2?
I was saying that John has no chance of winning this game.
Oh, really?
Is this another you've never been so certain as this?
I won't go that far, but I think Jake wins. I don't know. I mean, John's army is really good. I mean, but 4 regiments of half-breeds, what could go wrong? And he's got the gargoyles and 2 flying characters. So I think Jake wins.
The grotesques, he's bumped up to be the same speed as the half-breeds, so they keep up without any issue too.
I mean, Jake can
Exactly.
win this game without ever fighting John. That's the thing too, right? Just get across the table and avoid him. He could do that too.
I think that shooting is going to play a huge role if Jake can't shut it down fast enough. That's what I
Now,
think.
he's got the stuff to do it though. The Abyssal Temptress is a slick little addition. Basusu, Brachybarca, and then the Regiment of Tortured Souls. They'll all be able to really get into those enslaved guardian archers. I think I'm going with Jake here.
And he's
See,
got a
I'm-
regiment of tortured souls. I mean, come on.
I'm skeptical. All it takes is like a couple wrong maneuvers on Jake's part and a couple real nice surges on John's, and it's John's for the taking. I'm going to go with John on this one. I think he can pull it out. I think if he can tempt Jake into being overly aggressive, I think he can pretty much handle him. So that's what I'm going to say. What about you, Clinton?
I'm going to vote for John as well because you can never count out the intangible factor of John's dice.
That's true. It's also true.
I think it's going to be more John's dice than John.
So that's 2 for John and 2 for Jake. So really, they're not putting Unplugged, Team Unplugged too far back.
Right. I mean, they can't lose. They can't lose.
So good luck, gentlemen.
Like I
That's going to
said,
be a fun game. That's going to be a good one to watch, too.
Guaranteed 21 points out of the round.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So now we're moving on to table 11. We have Scott Craig versus Kevin Spear at Rabbleton Shores. So I think it's my turn to read a list, right?
Yeah, you can pick either one. I like both of them.
I'll take Kevin's list. So I got Kevin's list, our War King in Connecticut. He's playing Basilia, or Basilea, however you choose to pronounce it. He's got
Brazilians.
He's playing Brazilians. All right, so he's got a horde of Sisterhood infantry with the fire oil. He's got a horde of Alohi with the caterpillar potion. He's got 2 regiments of knights, one with the brew of strength, one with the brew of haste, making 1 speed 9. He's got 2 abbesses on panthers, one with the orcish skull pull, one with the blade of slashing. That is baller. Those things are awesome. He's got Neus Salustis, which is the legendary character on a lion mount. He's got 1 Alohi with Critter's Call 8. Oh, because he comes with heal 3. I'm like, how come he gets to take that? He's got 1 War Wizard with Martyr's Prayer 7 with Loot of Insatiable Darkness. He has 1 Phoenix. He's got the Forlorn Guard legendary unit, a regiment of them. He's got the Holy Lancers formation, and he has a horde of Ogre Palace Guard for 350. Nice list, Kevin. I like it.
All right. And Scott is bringing Forces of Nature. So he's got, I believe this is referred to as the Captain Planet list.
Hell
He's
yeah.
got 4 hordes of elementals, 1 fire, 1 water, 1 air, and 1 earth. And the air elemental horde has the Helm of Confidence. He has a regiment of Sylph Talon Riders with the Diadem of Dragonkind. He's
choice.
Got 1, 2, 3 druids, Wild Companion and Surge on 1, Banechant, Wild Companion, and Banner of the Griffin on 1, Banechant and Shroud of the Saint on 1. He has a Winged Unicorn with Lightning Bolt. He has 3 Greater Elementals, Earth, Air, and Water, and he brought Agni Banu as his Greater Fire Elemental for 2350.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Love that list. Cool.
I'm a big fan of the theme of that list as well.
Hell yeah. Scott's a great guy to play against. Well, both this game is there are going to be more laughs in this game in the whole tournament.
It's gonna be the nice off.
Yeah, for real.
Really happy Scott could make it this year. This army he's got the 4, right? This earth, wind, water, fire, right?
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think of Kevin's list? Like, I kind of more know what this list does. It's good. Kevin's I know less about.
So Kevin and I have talked in depth a lot recently about Basilians. I think this is the best list that he can put on the table at the moment. That being said, it's also a fairly strong list. He's got a very tough center. The horde of the Sisterhood infantry, backed by the wizard with Martyr's Prayer and the Phoenix with heal 10. That's really not going anywhere. He's also got the Forlorn Guard
there too.
Yeah, those are elite, just like regular elite paladins on foot. Dash 17, defense 5, 12 attacks on 3s, crush 1. They're Iron Resolve. And the Palace Guard is another defense 5, dash 17 nerve Iron Resolve unit that his core is just going to sit there. Then the Holy Lancer formation gives both of his regiments of knights elite, and it gives Naeus elite. So now you've got one speed 9 knights, one speed 8 with crush 1, and they're all elite and iron resolve and headstrong. So he's got his fast flank, and then he's got Elohi, and 2 Abyss on Panthers to go character hunting if he wants.
Yeah, those little abysses on the mounts at move 10. That's pretty good. They're gonna go out there and make things happen.
110 points for mounted, speed 10, 4 attacks on 3s with -2 modifiers to just
vicious.
Yeah, and vicious to just run around and be annoying.
When I was writing a Basilia list, I included a lot of those and the Panther Riders too. I really like those.
And the fact that they're speed 10, they can do that. With individual, they can do that sneaky little, I'll be at the 20-inch mark horizontally from you, and then on my turn, I'll spin and pivot. So now I'm 19.5 inches away from you and can charge you with that individual, sneaky pivot to get in on some of the faster monsters and stuff to ground them.
All right.
I think Kevin's got the tools for this.
Yeah. I mean, anytime there's a surge heavy army and you got against like a combat heavy army, and coming from someone who plays, nature, which is like kind of like the tar pit and then do tricky stuff to you. If he gets stuck on stuff, he can easily, like almost accidentally lose his Elohi. Like if he like bounces off something that he wasn't expecting or something like that with a couple surges in the flanks and a couple Bane chants in the right spots, those Elohi will go away. So, Scott's list is very tough to take down. Like, the Earth element, even just the greater elementals, all -18 nerve, defense 5 or better. Agni Banu's got the 12, the 12 flame breath. So I think it is. I think Kevin's got this one, but I don't think it's like anywhere near as like wipe Scott off the map. On paper.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination either. Scott's just got so much nerve.
Yeah.
-17 on the hordes, -18 on the monsters. Like, there's a lot of nerve that just has to be taken off.
My critique of Scott's list is that he's got 3 druids, right?
And 1 surge.
All of them have wild. But one's missing their wild companion.
How dare
Terrible.
you? What are you doing, Scott?
Terrible. What's the matter with you? Those are your jam. Anybody who's played Scott knows that the wild companions are key.
Yeah. For real.
So
as far as the fade goes,
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'd be worried if I was playing that Basilian list, like against it, I should say. I'm going to vote Kevin. I think it's starting to look at it closer. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's a really good list, and I think Josh is right that he could bounce and get bogged down, but if he sets up all the combo charges, which he has the speed to do, then it should be okay. But it won't be a landslide victory. That you're right. So I think I'm going with Mr. Spear.
Suspia.
I'm voting for Kevin as well. I think all the thought and planning he's done putting into this list has prepared him to bring what he feels most comfortable with transitioning from Brotherhood to. So I think he can do a lot of the toe tappy dancing that he's used to, but with better units.
He also took 2nd place last year at ORC TOWN. So I am also going to vote Kevin. I think that he's got the tools he needs to bust through Scott, and as long as he doesn't get bogged down, he'll be all right. So that's going to be a landslide for Kevin. And so we'll move on to table 12.
Somehow I got all the orcs, and I'm not sad about that. So
so we got Rob Spoor versus Matt Vermeuren at the Spears.
Yep.
named after Kevin Spear.
So I'll just rattle off Matt's list real quick here. So he has orcs, which are very evil, and he's got a regiment of axe, 3 troops of skulks, a regiment of gore riders with the potion of caterpillar, a regiment of gore riders with the whip of celerity, a regiment of gore riders with blade of slashing, so that's 3 regiments, a horde of gore chariots, excuse me, a regiment of gore chariots with the dwarven ale, sorry, and 2 ancient winged slashers. One has the goblin stabby sneak for +1 attack, so that'll be 13 attacks with, and he put blessing of the gods on it, so elite 13 attacks, crush 3, and it has critter's call. The second one has the stabby sneak for 13 attacks, and that one has brew of haste. He has 2 colossal giants, and the Skulk Stalker formation and the Crusher that goes with that, and that Crusher is mounted.
I like that list a lot.
No kidding.
A lot.
It's good.
That looks very
Yeah.
familiar too.
Yeah, no. I would have taken this list if I didn't see Matt running it at Unplugged, but
Right.
you can damn well bet I wouldn't have had Skulks in it, but that's just me.
All right.
All right.
So I think Corey's got Rob. Oh, is Corey frozen?
Corey.
Oh,
He's gone.
He dropped.
He's gone. All right, Clinton, read off Rob's
Yeah, I
list.
got it.
Re-invite him.
So Rob is bringing Empire of Dust. He's got a horde of skeletal spearmen, 2 regiments of revenants, 2 regiments of mummies, a horde of enslaved guardians, 2 bone giants, 1 bone dragon, 3 cursed high priests, 2 with heal, and 1 that's swapping surge for heal, the Idol of Shobek, and the Mummy's Revenge formation. And that's what Rob's got. Well, I can say this. The Idol of Shobek is going to be real tough to kill. Like, just...
Hey, it's Jake
Period.
Reynolds. He's back.
Heck.
There we go. Yeah, I think the Idol of Shobek is going to be real tough to kill because I don't think it's going to be in a position where you can double charge it with the Ancient Crudges or the Ancient Slashers, and I think that might be the only way to get to it.
Oh, man.
Because that thing is defense 6 with a dash 18 nerve, like, and it's got the whole healing aura thing that it does, and
This is another one of those matchups from hell where it's like, you know, you have this fast punchy army and this like enveloping swarmy surgy army.
the only 2 things of actual like units that aren't defense 5 or better are the Bone Dragon and the Horde of Skeleton Spears. Like,
Yeah, but like, you know, Matt does not give an F about defense 5. Not with this
Yeah.
list.
That is true. He's got crushing 3 and
Get
4
out of my way.
Absolutely.
all over the place.
Yeah. So I played a list similar to Matt's. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. Went up against John Vanace and his Empire of Dust army that was a little similar to this and died badly.
That's what I mean.
However, this has kind of like less shooting in it than that one did. And there's a lot of infantry here for those giants to have a field day with. 2 giants into mummies, if they live, right? If they both live, if they can double charge a mummy regiment, they'll kill it. You know, but he has some bone giants of his own. He can kind of get in the way of some stuff. I think Matt should be like aggressive right? Like he should be pretty aggressive, but he should focus on don't split up too much. Like just bring the heat fast and try and work your way through it. Also, like maybe with the ancients, right? Um I don't know. Like I guess would you have them fight stuff in the backfield? Try and because they can see over everything in front of them except for the super giants. So again, I would bring the hammer down hard on a section of this army and regroup and try your best to get the rest of it. But it does suck that he got this matchup. I will say.
One thing that he can do, that Matt can do, is something that we brought up, or Corey brought up with Jake, is he might be able to just dance around him enough to avoid really fighting him much. If he can bog down the center line and then get some more unit strength in and just sort of tippy-toe around him.
Yeah, I agree. Matt's got the speed that he can kind of pick on the edges there.
Yeah, I mean, or
just have to go into the teeth of that.
Isn't.
I mean, one of the cursed high priests drops surge, so he's only got surge on 2 casters in the entire list. Because I don't think the idol, the idol doesn't have surge. So I mean, if he can dance around on the edges and sort of just be where Rob isn't.
Oh wait, did all his high priests swap surge?
No, one swapped surge for heal. 2 of them added heal.
Oh, added heal. I see. It's a swap, or you pay for it. Okay.
Right. It costs 15 points to add it, or you can swap it. So,
I think I don't know. This is gonna be a tough one, but I think that experience is gonna play a part in this. I know Rob doesn't play very often. So if he can get if Rob has been practicing and he knows how to get those sneaky surges and knows where to bog him down and when to bog him down, I think he can pull it out. But Matt went to Unplugged. He's been playing games as far as I'm aware and has been pretty up on it. So I'm going to go with Matt on this one.
I am as well. I think the experience factor does come into play here.
Is Corey frozen again?
No,
he just went for
I'm
Matt.
here.
I'm also going to vote for Matt. I think he's got enough that he can just keep away with enough stuff that come turn 6 or turn 7, he'll have enough to pull out the win. K2.
All right.
Orcs or Empire of Dust?
He's obviously picking orcs. All right.
All right. Orcs.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to table 13. I guess it's going to be me and Corey reading lists together now.
All right, cool.
So table 13 is Pat O'Neill versus Ragnar Arneson at the town of Yabudia.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, but. All right. I got Pat's list. He's rocking dwarves this year. He's got 2 hordes of earth elementals, naked. He's got 2 regiments of Brock riders, one with the potion of caterpillar, one with the brew of haste, like that speed 9 on them. 2 Brock lords. That's what's up. That's the War King special.
Yep.
Mournful blade, and one with the blade of the Beast Slayer. He's got a stone priest with Bane Chant, Martyr's Prayer, and the Fire Amulet. He's got 1-2 steel behemoths. Surprise, he's also got Gollix Fury. And he's got 2 regiments of Mastiff hunting packs. And he took the formation, Gollix Thunder.
The new ORC TOWN special.
Yep.
And that is really 2350.
That is 2350.
So small.
Yep. So what's he up against?
Looking army too.
Yes, sir.
And now I've got Ragnar, who is playing Varengur. And so we've got a regiment of the Bloodsworn with Fury and the Brew of Courage. A regiment of Sons of Korgan, not mounted, with the Fury Gift. We've got 2 hordes of fallen, one with the whip of celerity, one with the brew of haste, 2 troops of tundra wolves, a regiment of mounted sons with fury and potion of the caterpillar, a horde of direfang riders with fury, 2 devourers with breath 10 and vicious on the ranged attacks. We've got Magnilda, we've got a scald on a mount with the loot, and then Herja's vengeance.
All right. Well, so
It's-
again, the problem with this kind of dwarf list is like bum bum bum, just kind of lumbering across the line. And in invade, that's going to be tough, especially when you're up against Varinger with Fallen, that can just pin you back in your deployment zone, like I keep saying. I just, he's got enough shooting to kind of deal with some of that Fallen. He doesn't give a shit about the Fallen. They don't have crushing strength 2. They only have crushing.
No, yeah, like whatever. Hit me more. Come on.
Yeah, right. Like I dare you. I got Martyr's Prayer. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
The only thing he's really looking out for, Pat's really looking out for is the dire fangs, and they're pretty easy to chaff. He's got massive packs. Ragnar doesn't have a ton of shooting to deal with those massive packs either.
yeah. The mounted sons and then the sons on foot are the only things that I can see
Oh,
out
I'm
of
sorry, I
Ragnar's
forgot.
list.
I didn't realize he had mounted sons. I saw only the ones on foot. So mounted sons are also a problem, but like Pat's got a couple of his own fast units with the Brock Riders and stuff.
I think Ragnar fell into a classic trap that a lot of Varangur players fall into, and it's that every unit that can take a mark has to take a mark, and that's because the mark used to be 10 points for Fury and Headstrong, which at that point, yes, you jam 30 points of magic items on every unit for 10 points without any discrepancies or problems. But I don't think that he needed every one of his units to have Fury. Like,
Well,
if you drop Fury off of 3 of those units, you upgrade the Sons on foot for another regiment of mounted sons, and they're just so much better for 30 points. If you
so here's the thing about Ragnar, though, is that he messaged me like a week ago after lists were already in. And he's like, hey, I can play in the tournament. And I'm like, come on down, buddy. That's fine. He's like, I got to string together my old Warhammer models. So he basically strung together whatever he could.
if he's playing what he can put on the table, then more power to him. Like, there's no problem with that. I'm just, he's got a lot of stuff tied up in magic items or effective magic items, and
I think
the old
to the 2350, but
yeah, the old adage, boys before toys, and he definitely has a lot of toys and a lot less boys in this list than he could. But if that's because that's what he had, then hey, more power to him for coming out. It's still going to be a potent list to go against, like, by having the sons on foot instead of the mounted sons. It gives you another, that's another strong, solid center unit.
Like
Devourers.
the 2 devourers too.
Yeah, I like the Devourers. The original ringer list that I wrote that I had submitted to Josh was a bit of this with some of the Fallen were taken out, the Mounted Sons were taken out, and I went with a much slower approach. But I had 3 Devourers in there with the breath, just because I think that can be a pretty potent little threat in the woods there for 190 points apiece. These mobile breath platforms that can run through the woods without any problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if Ragnar can play the terrain, he can give Pat some fits, and he has more unit strength, I believe, than Pat does. But it's going to be, I think this is going to be another close game. I think the benefit comes down to how much people get to play, and I think Pat plays more frequently than Ragnar does. So I think I'm going to lead in with Pat just for frequency of play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say this: Pat has actually a lot of tournament experience at this point. We traveled together down to Keystone last year. I did ORC Town Unplugged. I mean, like he does. He did everything except Crossroads with us last year. He does a lot of the 1 days too. Ragnar, I have a feeling is a good game player. So, and his list is, it's always a problem, right? But I think maybe Pat can can pull this out just on his experience, and maybe there'll be he'll give some cruel tutelage to Ragnar's Berenger. Voting for Pat.
Yeah, I think I'm going to vote for Pat. It's going to be close, but I think Pat can grind through his stuff eventually. Just take time. It'll be a grind fest for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put another vote for Pat too, and basically it's gonna. I think Pat's gonna have to just make sure that he fights the fight near the line so he can get over after a while. So we'll see.
All right. Next up, we've got Jason Gray versus 2017 Master Alex Chavez. Ouch.
Corey, can you try to say something? I think you're muted.
So this is. Am I muted?
No, I think Corey's muted.
There we go.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
that helps.
All right,
K2, which one you want?
Yeah. I'll take Alex's list.
All right.
So Alex has 3 troops of sharpshooters,
Legit.
3 hordes of earth elementals, 2 regiments of rock riders, 1 naked, 1 with the caterpillar, 3 organ guns, a berserker lord mounted on a Brock with the blade of the beast slayer, Gollix Fury, legendary steel behemoth, a flame priest with guiding light and the crystal pendant of retribution, and another flame priest with weakness, teleport, and the amulet of the Fireheart.
Alex just taking new stuff just to take new stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary, like, because I just don't know. But
guiding
light on the 3 organ guns,
guiding
right?
light something.
That's
also 5 points
that day.
short. It's only 23:45.
That's so he can brag about winning the tournament with 5 points less than everybody else.
That's
all right.
That's what he does. That's what he does. But
so yeah. I've got Jay Gray is bringing the Empire of Dust. He's got a horde of skeleton spearmen with the Casket of the Damned, a horde of revenants that have swapped their shields for 2-handed weapons, so they go to defense 4, pick up crush 1 with the Casket of the Damned, 2 regiments of skeleton archers, 2 regiments of mummies with Caskets of the Damned, a horde of swarm with a crystal pendant of retribution, a monolith, 2 bone giants, a cursed high priest with hex, and another cursed high priest with hex, restless souls of the Raya, a legendary regiment, the Mummy's Revenge formation, and Apathis, champion of death.
So this is rough for the Empire of Dust player. This is really rough. Just he doesn't have enough high strength to cut through those earth elementals. Alex is going to wait for that one turn when he gets 3 shots at something with the organ guns and put guiding light on it and vaporize it in 1 turn. And then he's going to teleport that same flame priest into the front of something that has to charge it and then get blown up by the crystal pendant of retribution. It's pretty sickening for the Empire Dust player right now.
So, unfortunately, for Jay, right, he's up against the 2018 U.S. Master, as in like 1 Masters. Jason Gray has played his 5 games at ORC Town. Was the last 5 games that I'm aware he played. Aware of that.
Oh no.
So Jay, here's my advice to you, bud. Have a couple drinks, have a couple beers round 1, have fun, laugh it off, and go into round 2. Alex is a great guy to play against. He's not a jerk. He's super funny. He's just a blast to play against. Just have fun with this one. He's going to very humbly destroy you. that's all I can say. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's unfortunate. Clinton, you're muted. Are you muted on purpose? There you go. I mean, I know that's, he's not going to be super psyched to hear that, but
No, I can already hear Alex saying it. I'm really sorry, man. That's just bad luck. That's just bad luck. Yeah.
bad luck. What do you think, K2?
So, yeah, I mean, Jay, you're going to lose. But I mean, it's kind of cool that you get to play Alex Chavez. I always enjoy playing Alex Chavez. I always lose to Alex Chavez too. I mean, we all do. The only one that doesn't is Corey Reynolds. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna. I would just concentrate, watch him move, watch him do all the things. I mean, you can learn a lot by playing 6 rounds against Alex, and I think it's going to be a good game. But you're going to die miserably, but just don't take it too hard, because he does this to people. But he's a nice guy,
yeah,
and you'll learn.
I like the prep we're giving here.
Yeah.
You'll learn stuff.
The thing is, like, though, at the end of the day, like, he is serious tournament gamer or whatever, but Alex is also one of the goofiest bastards I've ever met in my entire life, and he's a super fun time to be around. And he likes to drink, so, like, you two just have a beer or two and just, like, have a laugh, and round 1 will go smooth, and then we can all eat some pizza and we'll all move on with our lives. So that's all I'm saying. That is my advice to you. Just have fun with round 1 and hit him hard on the next one. So I'm going Alex on this one, hands down.
Yeah.
I think we're all 3 in agreement. Clinton didn't get to say anything because he's still muted. So
all right. So should we go to the next round? We're not debating.
I think we're all in agreement how this one's gonna
round,
go.
really, right?
This one's going to be ugly. So that's going to be a landslide for Alex Chavez. So on 15, we got Corey Wallitzer versus the ringer of ORC Town, the Mongolian Guard.
All right. So I'll take Corey's list.
All righty.
He is again playing Berenger. So we've got the 2 regiments of thralls. We've got 2 hordes of cave trolls. We've got 2 hordes of the fallen, 1 with the brew of strength. We've got 1 regiment of mounted sons with the brew of haste. We've got a devourer with the breath 10 and vicious. Ice queen that swapped her wind blast for heal with the shroud of the saint. We've got Magnilda. We've got a king on chimera with celerity. The cave troll king, trolls kings, horde formation, and Herja's vengeance formation. All good stuff.
Yep, certainly is. Let's see. I got distracted here. We got the ringer list. What's going on here? Okay.
You got the ringer up? You want me to read it?
I got it. So the ringer is warriors. It's come on. Now my technology is not working. All right, so we got 2 hordes of warriors, 1 with blessing of the gods, 1 with chant of hate. We got 3 hordes of boomers. We got 3 troops of red goblin scouts. We got 1 army standard with Bander of the Griffin. We got 2 boomer sergeants. We got Grokkagamok. We have a colossal giant, and we got Nomargarok for 2350. Compact, small, and kind of deadly. Unless you're
kind of deadly.
Unless you're playing Berenger.
I don't know. I like the I mean 3 boomers. I mean, first of all, this army looks amazing because it's actually Ron's Mondrulian Guard. So they're all the converted, you've probably seen them on the internet. They're all converted. They're basically goblins on steroids. So all their heads are common goblins, wolf rider goblins. And it just looks really cool. That being said, it's it's ogres. It's what Ron has, and he's going up against a very experienced Corey Wallitzer and Varinger. So
we don't really know who's running this yet. This is just like the army.
Who the ringer is.
Whoever shows up at the door gets this army.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
if we have a visitor, we're like, hey, you want to play a game? So like Peyton is rumored that like maybe Peyton will make an appearance. So like maybe Peyton plays it for a round. I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
I think Corey's got some stuff that he can deal with that.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna let's see, he's got the mounted sons. I mean, even just the unit count is way higher, you know what I mean, than
And he's got the Alpha Strike for sure. He's got the speed. He's got healing in the list.
yeah, I don't see how Corey doesn't take that one. So that was a gift to Corey for sure to get the ringer. So yeah, I think he just runs up, he invades, and takes care of the boomers, and the rest is history. That's what I think.
That's the plan, Stan.
That's going to be a quick one, and whoever's playing ringer at that time can start logging scores or something. So
Nice.
that'll be cool. So
Josh is arranging his tournament help already.
be like, yep, I lost. It's turn 3. Cool. All right, give me that, and I'll start. All right. Anyway, yeah. So that's score 1 for the Shambling Horde right there. All right. So moving on. I think we lost to Clinton, but moving on to table 16, we got Doug Blake versus Keith Conroy, a classic nuke versus unplugged gamer matchup at the Orc side down.
Nice.
Nice. This is a really cool table. This is one of our new tables this year that Doug actually made. So I see
How good
he'll have
how
a
good
clear advantage.
Awesome. Oh, and the last one was at War Kings HQ, another one of our new tables, which we failed to mention. But anyway,
but we should tell people what they're playing, right?
yes.
So,
yes. So
Good. Can you guys see me?
I'll read
we
off Doug's
can
list.
see you and hear you.
what's happening?
All right. We're on my
I don't know.
phone at the
I
moment.
can't hear
now,
Corey
cell
talk,
phone.
so if I'm talking over him, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Wow. Are you floating? What is happening? Anyway.
Me? No, I'm on my phone now.
Oh, okay. It looks like you're flying. All right.
I wish.
The floating head.
Who's got Doug's list?
I've got Doug's list. So, Doug is rolling with the Abyssal Dwarves. He's got 3 troops of gargoyles, 3 hordes of obsidian golems, 1 with the Brew of Courage, 1 with the Banner of the Griffin, 2 abyssal half-breed regiments, 1 with the Staying Stone, 1 with the Potion of the Caterpillar, Grotesque Horde with the Brew of Haste, 3 Dragonfire teams, Brachybarca, Basusu, Dravik Dalkin, and the Bardoom formation.
Bardoom, Brachybarca is extremely inspiring.
Yes, but the formation gives him dread and gives fury to him and the 2 abyssal half-breeds.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's pretty okay. All right, so I got Keith Conroy. Keith is bringing the herd. He's got a regiment of Spirit Walkers, a horde of Spirit Walkers. He's got 2 hordes of Lycans, 1 with the Dwarven Ale, 1 with the Brew of Strength. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 beast packs. He's got a Stampede with the Chalice of Wrath. That's a great item to give them. He's got 2 Winged Chimeras, 2 Shaman, 1 mounted, or both mounted with heal 5. He's got a Lycan Alpha naked. That is a fast list.
Yes, it is.
So Doug is invaded by turn 2. It's a matter of, can Doug kill all of Keith's stuff before the end of the game, I think, is really what it comes down to. And I don't think that's impossible. I just think Keith is on Doug's side of the board turn 2.
Yes, you're right. And then, yeah, and he's got to not get those golems combo charged, right? Because
Right.
Keith can't one-shot anything with a single unit. But if you get some combo charges in there, then he can start taking down those golem units.
I think it's going to come down to how Doug plays Basusu, how he plays. Doesn't he have Barky Barkaboo?
He does. He's got the Barkaboo.
Barkaboo. He's got Barkaboo. I mean, depending on how he plays Basusu and Barkaboo, he can do it. I think Doug can pull it out. I think he's got to look out for the chimeras. They're going to be flying around and flapping around, but Doug's got 3 troops of gargoyles. While Keith's distracted on his side, maybe he throws the gargoyles on the other side, 3 unit strength over there, envelop them, take them down,
Yeah, this would be a fun game to watch, actually. I think.
What's happening?
Yeah, so Beast Packs, like 70 points. Like, I don't know.
He's comparing them to Skulks right now. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
What?
And my Orklings, right? Like, we got Vicious.
Casey was just shaking his head like this, and he's going like this, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he's just reading the stats of Beast Packs, comparing him to Skulks.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
They're the best chaff in
Nimble,
the game.
Pathfinder, and Vicious. That's cool.
So-
And Speed 10.
Yeah, and don't forget speed 10.
I think it comes down to who wins the grind, honestly. That's what I'm going to say. I think Keith definitely has combo charges and stuff. But Doug's got a lot of defense. He's got 30 breath behind the lines. He's got stuff to deal with it. He just has to. I think it's going to be whoever comes out on top of that grind, because otherwise, if Doug can't grind it out, then Keith's just already invaded him and it's over.
Right. And Keith's got a lot of heal backing up his whole army with regen. So if Doug doesn't kill something, it's going to be right back to full strength. Just means another turn of staying on your own side of the board.
Pretty much. What do you think, K2?
I want Doug to win so bad. I want him to win. I mean, Keith is on the unplugged team, right? So he's going to be a major breadwinner for them. And Doug missed out on our team for some crazy reason, because I think, you got one less point in Unplugged GT. I want Doug. Doug can still be on the team by kicking the shit out of Keith Conroy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely annihilating Keith Conroy. And again, first game, I think Doug's got a real chance, and I'm gonna vote for Doug here because I'm lighting candles for him that he beats Keith Conroy. So no strategic analysis, just candles.
Just candles.
I think this is going to be a real close game. That's what I think.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, Corey? Who are you going for?
I think it's going to be Keith. I think it's going to be close, but I do think Invade really plays to what Keith wants to do. He wants to get on the other side of the table and just pick them apart.
No. I know. If it weren't Invade.
Yeah.
If it weren't Invade. What do you think, Clinton?
I'm going to go with Doug. I'm going with Doug here. I think Doug's got enough high speed tools, not necessarily as fast as Keith, but some of Keith's bulkier unit strength is slower. The Spirit Walkers are speed 6. The Lycans being speed 10 are a big deal. Stampede's only speed 7, so I think he can, I think Doug might be able to get a good combo charge with some half-breeds or a grotesque and a half-breed against the Stampede, then he might get it. I think it's going to come down to if Doug can play one of his best games, I think he's not going to have an issue with it. But I think if Doug gives up even one or two misslips, I think Keith's gonna capitalize on that in a heartbeat, and that one or two mistake is all it's gonna take for Keith to run away with it.
All right, so you're going Doug. K2 went Doug. Corey's going Keith. I think this is going to be a real close game. If not, maybe even like come down to like that turn 7 roll, or like I think it's going to come down to one combat or like one.
If it's turn 7, then it's got to be Doug, right? I mean, turn 7 is when Doug.
Here's my problem.
That's the secret turn just for Doug. Like,
I know that's
it's in
true.
the game just for Doug to play.
That's true. My problem is that Keith has won the game turn 2.
Yeah,
and it's Doug's already has to just fight for it tooth and nail to win. So I'm gonna go with Keith because he can win the game by turn 2. He just has to make sure he doesn't die at that point. So that's what I'm going for.
True enough.
All right. So last and final table of the night, we are going for table 17. We lost to K2. I sent him an invite, but we'll see if he comes back. We got War King Extraordinaire Brian Ring versus Ashley. I hope I'm saying this right. I think it's Mowit, something like that. And they're fighting at Sponsorvania this year. So if
Sponsorvania.
Sponsorvania, you like that?
I love the name.
Yep, Sponsorvania.
Right. So is it
you two can read it. I'm going to try to get K2 back online here.
All right, so I'll take Ashley's list, the Kingdoms of Men. So we have a foot guard regiment that has exchanged the shields for 2 hand weapons for crushing strength 1 and defense 4, and a horde with the blessing of the gods. We have a horde of heavy pike with the brew of strength. We've got a horde of bowmen, 2 regiments of knights, 1 with the potion of the caterpillar, 1 with the orcish skull pole, 3 super cheap heroes. We've got the King of the North, Sir Spear, and the Hound, all mounted. So 65-point cheap heroes. We've got 1 wizard with Bane Chant and Lightning Bolt 3 and an Inspiring Talisman. We've got another wizard with Heal 2, Lightning Bolt 3, and Shroud of the Saint. We've got the Captain, legendary Captain, and then 3 giants. So there is Ashley's list.
okay?
Pretty neat.
And Brian is bringing elves. He has a horde of kindred archers with the heart-seeking chant, a horde of the Sea Guard with the Wine of Elvenkind, a regiment of forest shamblers, 2 hordes of Drakon riders, 1 with the potion of caterpillar, 1 with the brew of strength, a horde of chariots with fire oil, 3 dragon breaths, 2 army standard bearers, 1 with the lute and 1 with the diadem, a forest warden, and a dragon kindred lord with the orcish skull pole. And that rounds out Brian's 2350.
You know what that list looks like? John's list when he was running elves. Looks very similar. Not that that's a bad
That's fucking gross.
Disgusting. Yeah.
Gross.
60 breath. 60 breath is gross. What?
Yeah, what? And then on top of that, you got to deal with the Drakon Riders. What? Yeah.
And the horde of archers.
The
and
archers.
the horde of Sea Guard.
So
And the Sea Guard being nimble means they don't go up to a 6-up on shooting, which is really good.
without just being like, oh, it's elves, so obviously the other side's going to lose. I'm trying to look at Ashley's list and see if she actually has some stuff to combat some of this stuff.
The 3 heroes being 65 points, those are going to be really good for getting in and stuffing the archers, the kindred archers, for a turn or 2.
Oh, one of them's Sir Spear. That's
yeah.
I love it.
They're 65 points. Those guys are some of like the best chaff, shut down shooting, annoying dudes ever.
Yeah.
Defense 5, 10, 12 nerve, crushing strength 1, speed 8.
Oh, and
those dudes are
she's got
so annoying.
And the Giants are all going to be Nerve 1921 with the captain rallying them.
Yep, and
She can
they're
be
regular giants. They're not the
captain.
colossal giants.
Right.
And the captain's the one that at the start of the game you roll a D3 and you get to move that many units before the game even starts, which for 150 points, the captain is insane, like so much better than he was. And in my opinion, he's one of the almost auto includes in every Kingdom of Men list. Just the ability to go, oh man, I fucked up putting this unit here, or oh man, now I'm sitting across from that horde of bows that I don't want to be across. Let me just move this to the other side of the table.
I don't know. I've seen him, used with mixed results because it's a D3, right? You get D3 removes.
Yes.
Right. I think so. Like that can be good. Sometimes it's like, oh, that's where I wanted him to be, and whatever. You just burned a bunch of points. I mean, I think it maybe helps you against drop heavy armies, kind of like a scrying gem. But I don't know. I don't like that those aren't colossal giants. I'm really partial to the dash aspect of the super giant.
One thing I wish is I wish the horde of foot guard was another horde of heavy pike. I know K2. I know you like troops of pole arms. I know you're a big big proponent of the troops of pole arms.
I do like them. I'm not sure they do would do anything against this elf list. So
wow.
I think some of it's like, limited by what they have for models and stuff, what she has for models and whatever. I like this better than Bill's list. Sorry, Bill.
I agree with you 110% on that. And again, sorry, Bill.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think a big part of her problem is going to be how much of her unit strength she can get across the board. It's going to be like the matchup earlier. Brian just has to park like the Sea Guard near the 24-inch line and just protect that line, and then anything that walks over that line, you just blow it up, and then at the end of the game, you just park your Dragon Lord and your 2 Drakon hordes on the other side of the table and call it a day.
That would be a win, small win, because we're playing blackjack. But
I understand
Brian's
that,
list.
A W is still a W.
It's a W, but yeah, Brian's list is very similar to the one that I wrote for Zest last year at Crossroads, and it finished with the second highest attrition at all Crossroads, and it was not, and he'd never played before.
Right.
So, it's not pretty.
If there were a vanilla elf list, I would say this is pretty close to what you would see for a vanilla elf list. But that being said, it's by no means a weak list.
No, I don't think it's a vanilla list. I just it will definitely melt humans. So
for sure.
I feel a little bit like and the problem with the regular giants is they get wavered from shooting and then they're dead.
Right.
Yep.
So
they're easier to bog down because of the waiver instead of being fearless. Yeah. Well, what's the price difference between a regular giant and?
That's like 40 points.
Oh, that's like 120 points. That's a whole unit there.
I guess. To 3. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see how it works out.
Even 2 super giants instead of 3
regular
normal giants probably wouldn't live too long against this list. So I mean, kind of splitting hairs. I'm just talking about the list as a whole, but in other matchups, I think this is a very good Kingdoms of Men list, but against these elves,
for sure. It's not a bad list.
Yeah. Against these elves, it's gonna be like it's gonna be a grim morning for the Kingdoms of Men at ORC Town.
That's Sponsorvania. and the rain.
That's Sponsorvania. It'll be a really cool table. It'll be a really cool table.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish Ashley had like weakness once or twice in her army. It would really go a long way here.
Yeah.
For the shooting. But all right. Well, I'm gonna. I think I've decided. I think Brian's gonna take this one down pretty handily.
Yeah.
I think
Brian.
It's gonna be deadly. He's got a deadly list, and really, Brian might have one of my votes of confidence to maybe take the thing down too. So.
Yeah, he's been on a pretty good roll the past 6 or 8 months in 1 days and stuff. He's been doing really well. So I think he takes this match. I don't think there's.
I have to agree. I think Brian's got this one. It's a good matchup for him.
In the War King kill squad, so good to hear. All right. So that's all 17 tables. We can maybe just very quickly, maybe if you got somebody you are projecting to win or a list you really liked, maybe just touch base on that. Or if you have a dark horse, we'll just go down the line and just your final thoughts on things. Maybe just point out one list that you really liked, who you think's going to take it down, and maybe one person who like unexpectedly might do really well or something.
Well, I think I'll start. I mean, I think Brian does have the list. I mean, between him and Alex Chavez, both their lists are like the top tier lists there, right? And both have the tools to kind of go all in. But my dark horse is, and this sounds so Ratkin Homerish, but it's definitely Alex, right? Because we're doing blackjack, and that much unit strength, that many units, does really, really well in blackjack scoring. So he can really, I think it'll take a lot of people off guard. He has the opportunity to get some really big wins.
Yeah, that's very fair. Very fair. K2?
Oh, man. Well, I'm conflicted, right? Because Keith Conroy has been doing mighty well with that herd list. And I don't know what he would do against Alex Kuz's list. I mean, Alex has got that Ratkin list. Corey's right. Blackjack, it is a boost for him. So many, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of units, right? Who would win in that matchup? I don't know. Brian Rain. I think Brian Rain and Alex Chavez can like skate through some of these bad matchups, but it kind of depends on who faces who. But I don't know. Okay, so overall, I'm gonna vote. I hope Brian takes down the tournament. I think the dark horse here for me would be like, oh man, John Benace, and that's like apocalyptic. If he wins, that's a sad day. That's in ORC Town.
Yeah, War King Landia will remember that day for the next.
That would be so bad.
It'll be a day that forever, which lives in infamy.
Yeah, tweet. That's
the
bad.
Entire Kings of War community about it.
I can see the gifs and the memes.
Yeah. No, that'd be no good. But I don't see Skullface doing. I see Skullface getting counter charger, and yeah, that guy. So that's my votes.
Nice. Clinton.
All right. Like K2 said, Keith has been doing really well with Herd, and for me, it comes down to either Keith or Brian as the one bringing it down. I think Brian's due. I think this is going to be Brian's tournament, so I think Brian wins.
Oh man, no pressure.
Yeah, I know. Now that we're all stacking it on him,
yeah. There's a little bit of bias here too.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to go with Corey. Corey Wallet's there. He's been playing the same list for a long time, And like I played against him at Unplugged. It went poorly because of dice and solely because of dice. So I think Corey definitely has the tools to pull it down, and he's got some stuff for blackjack that'll help too. So I'm gonna go with Corey Wallitzer for the whole thing. And my dark horse pick is actually Pat O'Neill. For a similar reason as Corey. He's been playing different iterations of this same list since he's started. So he's very, very familiar with his list, and he's getting more and more familiar with his matchups. Like K2 said earlier, he's got a lot of tournament play under his belt now. So my black, dark horse pick is gotta be Pat.
All right. I'm going to go. It's a toss up between, for me, I'm going to say, I was thinking about Alex Coos, but I mean, I think some of these elf lists can really give him trouble. I think like they can really delete those slave hordes quick. Get some of those other hordes out of the way pretty quick. They're just killing machines. I think this tournament's definitely going to be taken down by elves. I think, I think it's either Brian Ring or
Joe Taylor.
Or Joe Taylor. That would be cool. I would love to see Joe take this down.
John McCready.
Well, I was thinking John McCready was like going to be my because he's got that 3 hordes of archers, but I don't know if that's going to do it. I'm really conflicted, but I think Brian Ring's got a good shot, and I think Alex Chavez has a good shot. And honestly, I really like what's his name? Matt Vermeiren's orc list. I think that's going to be pretty cool. So maybe I'll put him as my dark horse. Matt is my dark horse, and I'm going to say I'm going to go for Brian too. Brian, get it for us. You could do it. Bring it home for the War Kings, Brian. Come on, Brian.
No pressure.
We put you on the team to win our own tournament, Brian. Come on. Let's do it. So I'm going to go for Brian. All right. So yeah, that pretty much concludes our whole matchup video for the night. We went through our 17 tables, the tournaments this Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So if you have any time at all, head over to the New England War Kings page. Our Facebook page is New England War Kings or Nuke. Check that out. Check out our event. Come swing by, even if you can't play. Maybe you can come play the Ringer Army. You can drink a couple beers, just have fun. Come hang out with us. It's always a good time.
Check out the website, www.orc.town. Very difficult.
And to some of our other allies out there, like if you have any tournaments you wanted to pimp while you were live on the air, cough, Corey, or Jake Reynolds, if you have any, you wanted to do that? No?
I missed what you said.
If you have any tournaments you want to pimp or anything while you're live on the air.
Since I won't be there to pimp it out myself.
Exactly.
So we've got the Crossroads GT coming up at the last weekend of September, and we've got room for one more team of 4 for the Kings of War 4-man team tournament. So get that registration in soon. Hopefully we can get our team, and that will be a full 18 teams and max us out for the tournament.
All right.
Nice.
Sweet. And go to Crossroads because it's an amazing time.
It will be epic.
Super fun. Had a blast last year. All right. Well, if there's not anything else that we want to bring up or say, I would call that a success. And I think we're all ready for bed at this point. And thank you to everybody who was watching.
Have a great time, guys. I'm sad I won't be there.
All right, man.
Next year, Corey. Next year.
Next year.
Yeah, missing out. All right.
Next year.
Signing off.
Signing
Adios,
off.
gentlemen.
Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.
Farewell.
Bye.